this afternoon for Big East football. The U.S. Special Operations Command parachute team from MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa getting us going for Big East football this afternoon. The Syracuse Orange and the South Florida Bulls. Welcome, everybody, to the American Century Investments pre-game show on this Veterans Day on a gorgeous day in Tampa, Florida. Big East football, high noon. As we get ready for another important tilt, the Syracuse Orange trying to end a 4-game losing streak, taking on the South Florida Bulls. Happy Veterans Day, everybody. Dave Sims and John Kinjemi, glad you could join us this afternoon as we look at a Syracuse ball club that's had its quarterback play very well. He's been valiant. We speak of Perry Patterson. Can he get some help today?
He's going to need a lot of help, and it all starts with that offensive line and that receiving core. But Perry Patterson's done a great job of making good decisions this year. 10 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, and when things have broken down around him, he's had the calmness and that senior leadership to make things happen. When he has had time in the pocket, he's been able to deliver to his freshman standout, Mike Williams. But the drops have hampered this offense. It stalled this offense and kept the defense on the field way too long, Dave. Today, the offensive line, they have to protect the receivers they need to catch.
Now, Syracuse puts a big reliance on Patterson. Same goes for South Florida. Their freshman quarterback, Matt Grothy's outstanding. He's ready to go. That's the best news this week. The news, though, the big question is he 100%?
Yeah, we were really impressed with the freshman quarterback from South Florida, but he hurt that ankle in the middle of that game last week against Pittsburgh. But in the middle of that game, he made spectacular plays, a lot like his protege, Brett Favre. He loves Brett Favre. He leads this team in passing. He leads this team in rushing. He does a great job on the edge with his legs, but that's the big question. Can his legs move the football today with that foot injury? He started against UConn. He got the turf toe and sprained some ligaments. Did it again against Cincinnati, and then last week against Pittsburgh, you see him hobbling to the sidelines. Watch for the Bulls to a lot of screen passes, a lot of quick screens to the outside, 3-step drops. He's our Pontiac game-changing performer, but can he lead the Bulls today? That's the big question.
That indeed it is. Well, a lot of news in the Big East. The Big East capturing national attention with the Rutgers win on Thursday on national TV. Let's get an overview of what's happening in the league from Quint Kesnick down on the sideline.
Dave, how about that Rutgers game? Captivating the nation, showing everybody that this league is more than just West Virginia and Louisville. I think we're going to see more turmoil at the top in the last 3 weeks of the season. What is at stake today? Keep in mind, South Florida, they have 6 wins, a 7th win. They could end up in the Birmingham Bowl. They are bowl eligible right now, coming off a nice victory over Pitt. Meanwhile, Syracuse, they need to win out and reach bowl eligibility. Hard to believe that they are 3-6, coming off a disappointing performance against Cincinnati, but they had a bye week. Keep in mind, Greg Robinson 0-11 in Big East play.
All right, Quinn, at some point you got to believe that streak for Syracuse will end. Why not today in the Florida sun? Right now, let's take a look at our taste of tailgating, brought to you by the good folks at Johnsonville Brats. And why not get stoked up with the Johnsonville Brat here outside Raymond James Stadium as we get ready for the kickoff. South Florida and Syracuse coming up next. Today's ESPN Plus game is brought to you by Pontiac, official performance machines of the NCAA, American Century Investments. Johnsonville Brats, welcome to heaven on a bun. Welcome to Johnsonville. Advance Auto Parts, for the best parts, people, and prices. We're ready in advance. Allstate, are you in good hands? Guinness Draft Stout, drink responsibly. Brilliant. And by Infinity, makers of the all-new 306 horsepower Jeep design Beyond Machine. Isn't it great to have the Big East extended down here to Tampa, Florida on this November day? Happy Veterans Day, everybody. Dave Sims, John Kinjemi, Quint Kesnick, and the Big East crew as we get ready for South Florida and Syracuse hooking up for the second time. 75 degrees, wind out of the west at 7 miles an hour, and you can't beat that forecast. And here's the thing that's interesting. From last week, it was 78 degrees. The wind was about 15 to 20 miles an hour. And in talking to the South Florida coaches, they said, you know what, our guys noticed that Pittsburgh's players got gassed. And that's with Pittsburgh having 21 players from Florida on the roster. Today, Syracuse has just 2 Floridians on its roster. So the heat could become a factor as we move along this afternoon. South Florida won the toss. And right now, let's take a look at our American Century Investments game plan, John, for both teams.
Well, for Syracuse, they have to help Perry Patterson, please. He's been doing his part, but multiple drops by the wide receivers, the protection problems, and the penalties have stalled this offense. And defensively, they have to slow the freshman quarterback, Grothy. Syracuse is 115th in rush defense. They have to do a better job today of just slowing him down. Now, for USF on the other side, it's the health concern of Matt Grothy. That's the big question. Watch for a lot of quick screens, a lot of quick passing game from Grothy in the pocket. And then on the other side, defensively, pressure Patterson. The Bulls need to bring the heat. And that O-line for Syracuse has struggled with consistency all year.
No doubt about it. They've made all kinds of moves. Another one, we'll detail that in a moment for you. Pretty good crowd on hand. This is also the home ballpark for the NFL Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There's a look at Curtis Brinkley, sophomore from West Catholic High School in Philadelphia. Back there with Kareem Jones. Justin Tichy will kick it off. What a star he was last week for South Florida with a couple of fake punts. And here's Tichy on the approach, and we're underway. This kick. Going to Kareem Jones at about the 2. Got room. Look at the hole. Gets through it. 20, 25. Nice return to the 31-yard line. Kareem Jones, that is his season best. He was brought down by Ryan Gilliam, a 29-yard return. Perry Patterson, who was 4th in passing yards, 6th in total offense, and 6th in passing efficiency in the Big East Conference. Good ratio. Touchdowns to interceptions, 10-3. Last year he had 6 touchdowns and 11 picks. Coming off a reasonable performance against Cincinnati 2 weeks ago. The Orange were off last week. 13 for 19, 119 the number. No touchdowns, no picks. He had more than his share of drops. I'd say about 5 or 6. Big shift up front. Paul Sciarra opens up at wide receiver, bottom of your screen on this 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Blitzing from the edge. Patterson in cut. Sciarra with the catch, and that's close to a first down, brought down by Trey Williams. Gain of 10 on that play, so that'll move the sticks. Here's a look at the backs and receivers. Brinkley and McDonald. Moss needs a breakout. Tim Lane has been quiet most of the year. Darlington's more of a blocking tight end. Carol Madison, for about the 4th time this year, moves to a different spot. Sklarowski's been moved up. Ryan Durand has been moved up. Justin Otten's the only guy that's been consistent in that position. Dante Davis to the far side here on this first down play. There's another drop by Patterson. Sets up a middle screen. Hey now! Boy, there was a blow up. And it was blown up by Ben Moffitt. No gain. Moffitt with Stephen Nicholas. You're going to like these linebackers if this is the first time you're seeing USF. The 2 guys in the middle, Cray and Harris, good run stoppers. And Selvey on the outside is a big energy guy. This may be the best threesome of linebackers in the Big East Conference. They had the whole package. The corners are brilliant. Williams and Jenkins, and Burnett and Williams are very solid as well. Good-looking defense. Mike Williams is in the game for Syracuse. Where's number 1? They like to get it to him. Short drop. Patterson out cut, and he gets it to Mike Williams. Picks up about 5. Caught it in front of Trey Williams. That's an important matchup right there.
Yeah, big play matchup on the outside with the freshman going against Trey Williams and Mike Jenkins on the corners for the Bulls. But you can see the team speed of the South Florida Bulls on defense. The last 2 plays, they are right up on the receivers of the Orange, and they've got great team speed, especially, Dave, as you mentioned, that threesome at linebacker could be the best in the Big East.
3rd down and 5. Curtis Brinkley's the deep back. Both teams changing up. Now they got 8 in the box. Now they back off. Deep drop Patterson. Boy, he's got time, and throws short to Williams. Drags ahead. He's going to be a yard short of a first down. Ben Moffitt on the tackle, a 4-yard pickup.
Really late flag, Dave, and a receiver for the Orange went down late, and the linebacker, it looked like Patrick St. Louis was tangled up with the receiver.
Dante Davis is injured. There's Gerard McGinn, the referee today. Umpires Greg Brenner. Head linesman is Matt Fitzgerald. Line judge is Todd Reese. The side judge is Patrick Garvey.
Personal foul on the defense. Number 54. 15-yard penalty. Automatic.
So Pat St. Louis picks up the penalty. The field judge is Keith Parham, and the back judge is Gary Dansowitz. There's a look at Jim Leavitt. Always a lot of fun to sit and talk with Jim Leavitt, who's been around. He's coached at Missouri, University of Dubuque, but he really made his name at Kansas State. as a linebacker coach and defensive coordinator, and he's been the only coach they've known here at South Florida.
And he is not happy on that sideline. You can see him pacing up and down, and very, very questionable call. Not sure what happened. And you see Patrick St. Louis talking with the official as well as Jim Leavitt on the sideline. A lot of confusion on why that penalty was called. Dante Davis went right down and looked like it was holding one of his knees, but now just crouching on the field. It was a very late penalty, Dave. Play was over. Should happen at the bottom of our screen right there.
Oh,
right there.
There it
There's
is.
the hit.
Oh, away from the ball.
No need for Patrick St. Louis to deliver that hit. The ball was going away a good 10-15 yards, and the receiver, Dante Davis, the freshman, helplessly looking back because the ball was gone. A bad decision by the senior linebacker out of Miami, Florida.
There was nothing sporting about that play. Nothing at all. And I don't know if Jim Leavitt saw that play, but you know, Dante Davis is 20-30 yards away from the play, not involved. That's the Warren Sapp play that happened a couple of years ago against Green Bay.
Well, you're right. There's a fine line of being aggressive at the point of attack and being aggressive away from the ball, and I think that's what upset Coach Leavitt about making good decisions when you're going to use your aggression.
Well, let's see if Syracuse can take advantage of this. Syracuse 0-4 in Big East play this year, 0-11 under Greg Robinson. It's been since the end of the 04 season that they won a conference game. There's a waggle by Patterson, and he one-hops it. Been one thing or the other this year. Tom Ferrin, the pass-catching receiver, 26 catches for the tight end out of Clyde, New York. He's 9th in Big East receptions per game. .25 to go, and here's what these two ball clubs have done. Total offense, Syracuse is last. Total defense, Syracuse is last. In total offense, South Florida's 4th in the conference, and in defense, number 2. Second down and 10 at the 33. Run up the gut for about 2. First running play by the Orange this afternoon. Ben Moffitt there for the tackle, number 59, junior out of Bushnell, Florida. Curtis Brinkley. Those are his numbers on the season. 8th in Big East all-purpose yards at 91 yards a game. Not much of a factor 2 weeks ago.
There's a defensive coordinator, Wally Burnham, for the Bulls, and he was worried about Brian White, the offensive coordinator for the Orange, coming out with something different. Well, Syracuse has been a lot of one back and throwing the football around. Only one rushing play today.
Wide side of the field to Patterson's left. Short drop. And boy, that looked like Williams really didn't exactly amp it up on that pass pattern. Mike Jenkins covering. Boy, he was not accelerating through that cut at all.
As a quarterback, Dave, you're depending on that wide receiver to run through the throwing area, especially on a quick slant, to beat the cornerback through. One too many moves at the line of scrimmage. If you can set the cornerback up on the outside and then use your burst to the inside, that gives a better throwing lane and a better choice or a better location to put the football for the quarterback.
So the Orange, now they're going to burn a timeout. Boy, early on, they're going to burn a timeout. 11:38 to go. Got a pretty good kicker for the Syracuse Orange. Patrick Shadle, a sophomore out of Morgantown, having a good year. Got a long of 46. So if they were to kick now, that'd be about a 47-yard field goal attempt. Take a timeout, get you back to Tampa in a moment. No score, first series of the game, South Florida taking on Syracuse. Well, Greg Robinson and company have had a chance to talk things over. There's his offensive coordinator, Brian White. They just lost Dante Davis. He's going to the locker room right now. Here's the Orange going for it on 4th down. They're 2 of 7, last in the league. There's Dante Davis, victim of a cheap shot earlier in this series. The Orange last in the Big East, 2 for 7 on 4th down. Curtis Brinkley's the deep back, 8th play in this drive, started at their own 32. Patterson to throw. Boy, does he have time? He can run. He looks, fires, got it. Bryce Moss, big play. Syracuse down to the 15-yard line. That's a first down, a gain of 15. Finally brought down by Ben Moffitt. How about the O-line for Syracuse giving Perry Patterson time, and Rice Moss makes a catch?
Well, we were pleading for it earlier in this broadcast about protecting Perry Patterson. Well, they do a great job. The offensive line of the Orange give Patterson plenty of time to scan the field. Watch this pocket develop right there for Perry Patterson. He does a great thing of stepping up and then finding the open receiver. Great job by the offensive line and a better job by Perry Patterson.
Patterson coming out chucking today. 5 of 7 for 35 yards. They've only run the ball once so far in this opening series. Patterson short drop. Got time, man there. Incomplete. And covering on the play, Mike Jenkins down there. Intended receivers Rice Moss. Also down there is Jeremy Burnett, number 33. Had a good look at him. And Mike Jenkins, second team All Big East performer a year ago. And clearly one of the best defenders in the league. He's got a team best 10 pass breakups entering today's action.
Well, they're going to have to do a good job in this red zone to keep the Orange off the scoreboard. Perry Patterson pushing the football down the field, and there are the numbers inside the 20 for the Orange this season.
There's Tim Lane in motion on this second down. Second run of the day. Going to get it outside. Penalty flag on the play. Tell you what, John, you mentioned it earlier. This South Florida speed is outstanding. I think Perry Patterson's looking at a 60-throw day.
Well, this is where the problems start for the Orange offensively. Normally it starts with a penalty and then maybe a drop, and that adds to the headaches on the sidelines for their head coach Greg Robinson.
Saw Greg out jogging. I hope it was the finish of his jog.
It was. I'm going.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looked good though.
We didn't get to ask him about that yesterday, but I think it was the end.
Keeping himself in good shape. Tell you what, you got to love his energy. It's it's boundless. And it has to be in a situation like this. He comes in rebuilding a program. There's a hold against Syracuse. And that's refused by South Florida. Sets up a third down. Carol Madison called for the infraction. Carol Madison now at left tackle today.
Yeah, here's the hold to the right of your screen. Just out of our eyesight there, the big hold by Madison. And this offensive line has been going, if you play right tackle one week, that doesn't mean you can't play left guard the next week. They've had a lot of people up there, and Greg Robinson said to us, I want to get my best 5 on the field at one time.
Madison has been at left guard, right tackle, now he's at left tackle. Rice Moss, far side on this third down and long. Patterson stands in, throws short. Tim Lane with the catch, going nowhere. Got to the 11, well short. All the passes, John, talk to me about this. Everything has been short and underneath. They haven't really stretched anything.
Well, I think that might be plan B for Syracuse. They're trying to get rid of the football so they don't have to protect that long and put a lot of pressure on this offensive line. Patterson going back, just a 5-step drop. Pretty good protection. He steps up nicely. Look for Patterson to step up and maybe if he's flushed to take it himself next time.
29-yard attempt, left hash for Patrick Shadle, 13 of 14. Hasn't missed since game 2 versus Iowa from 45 yards. 29-yard attempt, 2 for 2 from this range thus far on a great season, 13 of 14 on the year. And the Syracuse Orange break on top on the Patrick Shadle 29-yard field goal. Well, not a bad drive. It was held back a couple of times, but Greg Robinson's crew gets the ball, takes it right down the field, and they get on the board. It's 3-0 Orange. South Florida gets its first taste on offense right after this. The Syracuse Orange, led by their quarterback Perry Patterson. He went 6 for 9, 39 yards. There's the scoring drive. 12 plays, 56 yards, and 452. The big play, a 4th and 7 completion for 15 yards to Rice Moss. There was a hold that held back the Orange, but they're on the board. Taurus Johnson and Ian Randolph are deep to receive this Brendan Carney kickoff into the end zone. It's going to be Taurus Johnson, and he'll take a knee right there. So the South Florida Bulls will get their hands on the ball, starting at their own 20, led by Matt Grothe, having an outstanding season, 3rd in the conference in passing efficiency. 2nd to Brian Brahman total offense, 7th in rushing, 9th in scoring, and 4th in TD scoring. He is something else.
And this is a guy that didn't really start the season.
That's right.
Pat Julma started and played well. Pat did last week when Grothe was out with that foot injury.
Take a look at Jim Leavitt. But hey, they want this game badly. Want to move up in the standings. Benjamin Williams is going to open in the backfield. See if they try to take advantage of Syracuse and the heat here. Here's Grothy on a play fake. A time. Deep ball. Man there. Caught. First down. Nicely done on a deep crossing pattern. Picks up 24 yards. And he gets it to S.J. Green. Terrell Lemon on the coverage. 37th play allowed this year, but at least 20 yards by the Syracuse offense.
Little play fake by Matt in the pocket. Great protection, and watch the timing in the pass offense is what impresses me about this young quarterback.
And here comes a reverse. They said they wanted to get it to Amari Jackson a lot. Last week, when we were here for the Pittsburgh game, he was on the beginning end, the middle end of a reverse. Benjamin Williams in the backfield. Ian Randolph leads the conference in punt returns. S.J. Green can get downfield, and Bleakley, they use him largely as a tight end. Thad Watson and Walter Walker at the tackles are earth movers. They'll pull Watson on counter trays. That is a sight to behold. 2nd down and 6. Ponton and Williams in the backfield. And nice run by Williams to stay with it to get into Syracuse territory at the 47-yard line. Nice game. And the Syracuse defensive line, they started out ball of fire with a bunch of sacks. Jameel McLean leading the way, but they have cooled off dramatically the last 4 games. Good linebackers, Kane, Smith, and Mackey. Kelvin Smith among the top. Matter of fact, second to H.B. Blades in tackles in the conference. Good corners, too, and Tenard Jackson and Lemon. And Davis and Fields are good hitters. That's a defense that ranks low in the numbers. But I'll tell you what, they don't quit. 3 tight ends in the game here for South Florida. Give it to Ponton. Nice cut. Close to. He does have a first down. Brought down by Kelvin Smith. So this drive will continue. 2 yards on the game. Ricky Ponton, the sophomore from right here in Tampa at Hillsborough High School.
And the pace of this offense, Dave, is a jet tempo. We talked to offensive coordinator Rod Smith, and Ricky Ponton and Benjamin Williams do a nice job of complementing this offense from the backfield, but the pace is set by Matt Grothy, the quarterback. They want to get up, get the ball snapped, and tire out this SU defense.
You know, it's interesting. This is the final home game for South Florida. Their next 2 games, Louisville and West Virginia. And the weather could be markedly colder in the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
For the Bulls. Deep cut over the middle. Man there. And a little bit behind the intended receiver. Tried to get it to Marcus Edwards, a sophomore from Mayo, Florida. He outplayed Amari Jackson to earn that starting position this year.
And Matt would like to have this one back. It just gets away from him wide open. All you have to do is put it on the numbers. Marcus Edwards on a little curl route. Matt would like to have that one back, but a good combination route on the outside and a nice route by Edwards.
29-yard field goal by Shadle has Syracuse up 3-0. 2nd down and 10. They got McLean playing at a linebacker for Syracuse. Ponton breaks it outside. Nicely done. Picks up 3. There's a late flag coming in from the side judge as the ball was advanced to the 40-yard line. McLean making the tackle. Number 2 tackler on the club to Kelvin Smith. And a hold is going to back up the Bulls. So how about Syracuse? We've seen McLean now playing as down lineman this year, and now and this is our 5th game in 6 weeks with Syracuse. He's playing some linebacker. Gerard McGinn's microphone could not hear who it was, but it looked like he said something for. It could have been the tight end Bleakley.
Yeah, it was either the tight end or Ian Randolph on the outside. It looked like a late flag, so it might have come from the tight end or the wide receiver blocking. Here's Randolph on the outside. They may get him, or there's the tight end on the ground. That's the one they get, probably Will Bleakley, the tight end. A lot of white jersey as he was going to the ground.
Sets up a 2nd down and 20. Back at the 45-yard line of South Florida. 3 down linemen, and now a field judge blows his whistle. There's a balloon on the field right behind the offense. Matt Grothy going, what are you talking about? And here comes the balloon. It's at the 45, moving to the 50.
Yeah, I believe one of the Florida State patrolmen was going out to get and he looked like he to get the balloon, and he blew a tire about the 28-yard line. So they had to call timeout.
Good news, he kept his weapon holstered.
That's right.
So a 2nd down and 20, the 45. S.J. Green at the top of your screen. Randolph in motion. They give it to him. Randolph. Nice game. So I get back to the original line of scrimmage, run out of bounds by Joe Fields. And Randolph having an outstanding year. 35 catches. He's now rushed it 7 times for close to 50 yards on the season. Picked up 8.
Well, the Bulls are doing a great job of running the football and being creative by not using Matt Grothe. That tells me he's not totally 100% rushing and running the football. So they're getting a lot of contribution by Randolph and Williams and Ponton. But they're going to need that today.
Grothe injured that foot again last week. Boy, he is a tough competitor. Got dinged, got a nose popped at the Cincinnati game a couple of weeks ago. Deep sideline ball, great catch, far side, first down, South Florida. Got it to Marcus Edwards. He went up and caught it in front of Terrell Lemon. Gain of 12, first down, Bulls.
Great concentration by Edwards on the outside. Grothe just gets it close. Marcus goes up and gets the football at its highest point, and he had the presence of mind to keep his eyes on the football before he was hit by Terrell Lemon on the edge. Great catch by Edwards.
One thing we want to start looking for now, and it's still, we have plenty of time, 7:28 to go in the second quarter, but hands on knees on the Syracuse defensive unit. They're running them wide and up the middle. I mean, they're spreading them out. Get the ball to Randolph that time. Tackle made by Tenard Jackson.
Dave, that's the play I was talking about in the open. That replaces the Matt Grothe run on first down. A quick screen, maybe a 3-step drop, or catching it shotgun and get it out to your playmakers, because I'm not sure Grothe can run the football. Yes, he's throwing it very effectively for Jim Leavitt and that offensive staff with Rod Smith as the coordinator, but Grothe that moves this offense when he can run.
Second down and 7 at the 32. Little waggle coming back near side, 2 receivers. He goes to Blakely. Blakely, nicely done with the sidestep inside the 20. First down to the 18, brought down by Joe Fields, a gain of 15. This drive began back at the 20-yard line. This is the first possession by South Florida.
Love the rhythm of this offense, and Grothe's doing a great job of orchestrating all his players. He's hit Edwards, he's hit Randolph, he's got Benjamin and Williams and Ponton running the football. There he goes to Blakely. Great job of getting everybody involved.
Syracuse trying to shuttle in, guys. A lot of hands on hips. A lot of times denotes fatigue. Get it back to the near side. Edwards. Might have been a touchdown saving tackle by Joe Fields, the converted quarterback, the free safety out of Houston. And a nice catch by Edwards. Edwards, with just 5 catches on the season last year, having an outstanding campaign, picks up 8 here.
Well, Syracuse gets everybody going play side with the play fake of Grothe, and it makes the one-on-one situation with Edwards against Joe Fields, the free safety. Makes a great open field tackle, but another positive play on first down.
Grothe 5 for 6, 61 yards, and you see how South Florida has improved in its red zone productivity. Ponton sticking his head in there, takes it down to the 6-yard line, brought down by Jerry Mackey and Jameel McClain. Boy, Edwards having a nice year. Came in with 18 catches and almost a handful to this point.
Dave, impressed with both offenses. Syracuse went right down the field, gets the field goal, and now the Bulls answer offensively, come right down, and they're knocking on the door trying to get 6.
First and goal at the 6, 13th play of this drive. Started back at the 20. Chambers at the far side. Grothe keeps it, in trouble. Oh, nice move. Got rid of it. Touchdown! Oh my goodness, what a play by Grothe. They got it to S.J. Green, and South Florida leads at 6-3. Tenard Jackson with tremendous pressure on Grothe, but Grothe kept the play alive.
Grothe called it last week. Brett Favre is his guy. That looked a lot like number 4 in green.
For the second TD catch for Green on the season. They've got Alvarado, Delbert Alvarado for the point after. And it's up and good. And there's South Florida, 13 plays, 80 yards and 4-12. As Matt Grothe throws his 11th TD pass. S.J. Green on the receiving end. Valiant effort right there to keep it alive, and touchdown South Florida. The possession, both teams with the score. South Florida leads 7-3. Good looking drive too, 13 plays and 80 yards. Grothe, very productive. And S.J. Green with the touchdown catch. S.J. out of Brandon, Florida, his second TD catch, and Grothe's 11th TD toss of the season. Justin Teachy will kick it off. And this kick coming to Kareem Jones at the goal line into the end zone. Will take a knee right there. So now the Orange will take over as we look at the scoring play, John.
Well, great play fake by Grothy, and he has the presence to keep his head downfield. He's being pressured by Jackson, the defensive back, and he just puts it in the only place it could be for a touchdown. S.J. Green does a nice job of keeping it alive, but watch the ball security. He gets it away from Jackson, then squares his shoulders up and is able to keep his head and eyes down the field. He has a great presence about him. He's only a freshman. He keeps the play alive long enough to let his wide receiver clear to that open area of the zone in the back of the end zone.
Tremendous feel and communication by both youngsters on that play. They're going to re-kick after an offside by South Florida. But Grothy making a name for himself. There's S.J. Green. Florida speed down here, no surprise, and it's a hot day, and you could eventually, hopefully, if you're a Syracuse fan, you want to see him get on the board a lot here.
Absolutely.
In the first half, because the third quarter has not been kind at all to the Orange course of the season. Syracuse in the third quarter has been outscored 42-0 in the third quarter in the last 4 games, all losses. So scoring on every possession is imperative for Syracuse. Orange trying to end a 4-game losing streak. Try it again. This one, Kareem Jones at about the 6. Trying to get outside, ran right into the teeth of the defense there. There's 4 guys there, couldn't find his numbers. A 15-yard return brought down by Jamel Jenkins. Let's check in with Quint Kesnick.
Dave, Dante Davis, who was carted off after that first series, went to the locker room. He's back on the sidelines. The doctor here is telling me it's a rib and hip injury. He's allowed to step back on the field, but right now he's just got an ice pack on his hip, and he's still on the bench. So his return is definitely questionable for the Orange.
Thanks, Quint. And if you're just joining us, Pat St. Louis lit up Dante Davis. Dante Davis was 35, 40 yards away from the play in an unnecessary hit. Let's just call it what it is. It was a cheap shot. Toss play. DeLon Carter, first time we're seeing him. Finds a hole, picks up about 7. Brought down by the aforementioned Pat St. Louis, one of the captains for the South Florida Bulls.
You know, in watching Syracuse run the football as much as we've seen him this year, I've been impressed with both running backs, and especially the freshman DeLon Carter. He hits the hole, but he has patience enough, Dave, to pick and bob and weave in those holes. 4 touchdowns all in one football game. But he's done a good job with his average, but I like the way he explodes through the hole. He does a nice job.
Those 4 touchdowns in an overtime win earlier this year, September 30th against Wyoming. There's Rice Moss in motion on the second down play. Patterson back to throw. Pretty good time. Hangs, fires, throws in and out of the hands of Ferrin. That tells you all you need to know about the Syracuse season the last 4 or 5 weeks. That was a good throw. And Ferrin is, they consider him their good hands guy.
Yeah, Patterson does a nice job of keeping this play alive. Everything was falling to pieces around him, and he steps up into the pocket, maybe put a little bit too much on it, but he put it right in the perfect spot. You can't hang that on Perry Patterson. You have to come up with catches, and Tom Ferrin usually makes that catch.
Shara motions out of the backfield. They've got Arthur Capalanga, their 4th tight end in the game now, number 98, more of a blocker. Patterson changing the play, got 3 on the play clock. Gets the play off, looks right, throws right, and behind the receiver, Shara, but there is a penalty flag on the play. Jeremy Burnett covering for South Florida. So a tough catch there, one in the hands of a receiver the play before. And now
on the defense,
Syracuse gets a break.
5-yard penalty.
And Jim Leavitt is absolutely going crazy on the sidelines, because that's the second time that his defense is kept drives alive for this Orange offense. It looked like there was some movement up front defensively, but I thought he had gotten back out of the neutral zone, Dave, you know, the first time.
I think it was George Selby that might have been off. Actually, it was number 99. So Julian Riley.
Yeah, if you're
pulled immediately.
If you're running off the sidelines, you want to run maybe towards the other side of the bench.
1st and 10 at the 32 for the Orange. Near side at the bottom of your screen is Tim Lane. One-on-one coverage with Mike Jenkins. Pump fake, going for it all. Got Williams right sideline. He's there and overthrown. Penalty flag on the play. Covering is Trey Williams, the junior from Plant City, Florida. Maybe a little hold in the jersey in that last couple of strides.
That's a great decision by Perry Patterson. I was thinking the same thing, and we were seeing the same things. That looked like South Florida was going to bring some pressure man-to-man, so Perry Patterson audibles at the line of scrimmage, decides to push the football down, and that's exactly what happened. Interference on Trey Williams. I'm not sure that ball was catchable. I don't know if that landed out of bounds.
First down.
I agree.
Let's take another look, Dave. Good route by Williams, but I'm not sure if that ball goes out of bounds about 5 yards over the head of the freshman and lands out of bounds.
5 penalties for 50 yards thus far for South Florida.
Yeah, the one thing that Mike Williams will help out Perry Patterson is give him some room to that sideline. Get back in towards the numbers instead of running down the sideline.
LeVar Lobdell, number 11, in wide receiver now, top of the screen for the Orange. 1st and 10. And its own 47. Short drop. Patterson, nothing there. Try to keep the play alive. And tell you what, the communication not real good there. Rice Moss did not see a lot of Patterson being in trouble. Talk about the communication there. You know, when I get in trouble, I need you to do what?
Usually the short guy is going to go deep and a long guy is going to come out, but on that time Patterson was flush to the left where you don't want him flush if you're a bull defender, because he's left-handed, so it's easier for Perry to waggle out to this side and still have great vision. But you have to be able to get in and out of routes, and that time Rice Moss was caught on the inside, never got outside.
Mike Williams will line up at the bottom of the screen on the 2nd down play. Toss play. Carter looking for the cutback. It wasn't there. Look at that speed by South Florida. And that's the thing. We've seen Syracuse enough to know we have the entire book on DeLon Carter. He wants to cut it back almost every time after the 2nd step. He had a lot of success against Wyoming, and everybody else has seen that on tape.
Yeah, I think you're right, Dave. And for the Bulls defensively, they have to get a stop on 3rd down. The penalties defensively have kept drives alive for the Orange offensively, so they have to use their speed and make better decisions on 3rd down.
A lot of speed on this South Florida defense. You look at Ben Moffitt, the middle linebacker here, Pat St. Louis, and Stephen Nicholas, the best 3 linebackers in the Big East Conference. Rice Moss at the far side with Mike Williams. Farron in motion on this 3rd down. Big play here in a 7-3 South Florida lead. Blitz coming. Look out. Down goes Patterson. Back at the 36-yard line. Well done by the South Florida Bulls. Antoine Hanks lost a 12 on that play.
Yeah, I think Chris Robinson was also in on that stop.
Yes, sir.
Great job by the Bulls pressuring the pocket of Perry Patterson. The offensive line had no answer. You see him coming from everywhere. Patterson does not have a chance to get rid of the football. Great pressure by this Bulls defense and coming up big on 3rd down.
That was huge. Syracuse looked like they're about to get something going here. So you look at Brendan Kearney, who was 1st team All Big East punter a year ago. Ian Randolph, the leading punt returner in the Big East Conference, is back to get it. He's 7th nationally. Wow, shaky snap. Nice job by Kearney. He's a good athlete at 6'5". He's got a stellar bounce here as he bounces it inside the 20. And that's the 10th time he's gotten one into the 20. That's a 46-yard punt by Kearney, who was averaging 41 yards on the season. Didn't get much hang time, but that sack turned out to be very big. And there's your sack story. Syracuse has had its issues all season.
And really, a lot of that is not on Perry Patterson. He's not a guy that holds the football. He's done a great job of maturing from last season to this season. He's been able to get back and get rid of the football, but it's been the inconsistent play of that line that has led to a lot of these sacks.
Syracuse last in the league in allowing sacks, giving up the most. Amp Hill in the game now, wide out. Stretch play running left side. And a 5 play by the middle linebacker, K.J. Smith. Kelvin Smith does a nice job on the running back, Benjamin Williams, on that stretch play. Nothing doing there, no gain. Maury Jackson just came into the game.
Well, he's as tough as they come inside the tackle box. And Calvin Smith, 2nd in the Big East in total tackles with 86. You see him there holding on to the running back, Benjamin Williams. Good play.
Grothy Little sprint out type pass, gets it a first down, and he got it to Jackie Chambers, the junior from Edison High School in Miami, his second catch of the year, brought down by Dwayne Davis, 13 yards on the game.
Here goes that jet tempo, Dave. They're going to step it up and try to, make Syracuse line up and play.
1st and 10. No running room there. Another fine defensive play by the middle linebacker, Kelvin Smith. #1 tackler on this ball club. Second in the team in sacks to McLean. He's outstanding. They continue to roll here on this jet attack. Blitz coming. Get it outside in the flank. Got it to Chambers again. Chambers brought down by Jerry Mackey. About 4 yards short of a first down. Picks up 8.
Mackey did a good job coming from that weak side linebacker spot. He had that hand injury about a month ago that had lingered, but now he looks 100%.
Yeah, Randolph, Hill, and Jackson in the game right now.
This is normally where you see Grothy use that quarterback run, but he hasn't done it so far today.
3rd and short. Grothy with time. Flushed. Penalty flag. Grothy running. Got the first down. Let's see what the flag's about. Might be a hold. I think the referee threw it. Chased out of bounds by Terrell Lemon. And it is indeed a hold.
Well, I wish Jim Leavitt would stop hiding his emotions on the sideline, huh? You almost want to play for a coach like that. He's very passionate.
On the offense, number 55, 10-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage.
For their second team All Big East performer, Thed Watson. Number 55 called for that foul.
In talking with Jim Leavitt yesterday, he said, this is his dream job. This is where he wants to be. This is where he's from. He grew up and he wants to be here, and he wants to take this program to the next level, to be in those games like the Louisville-Rutgers game and the West Virginia-Louisville game the week before. He wants to take his Bulls to that point.
Of course, I asked a follow-up there. Hey, do you think Greg Schiano will stay at Rutgers? He said, well, sort of like me. He's at home. He's a Jersey guy. And certainly right now, Greg Schiano is the biggest name in New Jersey right now. No question about it after that win. Biggest win ever at Rutgers. Grothy. Deep middle. Man there. Wow, what a catch. First down. Goodness gracious. Torres Johnson. First down to the 45-yard line. That's a gain of 30. That's a season best for Johnson. A 30-yard pickup by Grothy, who just dropped it in over the backer.
Great job, and Grothy was looking the entire time right here. He's just waiting for his wide receiver to clear Mackey, the underneath coverage. Great job and great anticipation.
9 of 10 for a $119. Matt Grothy, another hard run there by Benjamin Williams. Little guy's 5'7", 190. Able to slip in there and find a little crease. Picks up 5. Brought down by Cornelius Campbell.
Dave, Benjamin Williams and Ricky Ponton taking the place of the running of Matt Grothy today. They're getting those yards on the ground that Grothy normally would have.
That's close to a first down run by Benjamin Williams. Check in again with Quint Kesnick.
Dave, I spoke to Matt Grothy right before the game, asked him about his foot. He says it's about as good as it can be coming back on a week's rest. He also said this is probably the biggest game we've played in since we've been in the Big East. Says we have 6 wins, and the thought is, oh, yeah, we're in a bowl. The reality is, though, if they lose here today, they still have to play Louisville and West Virginia up north in the cold. So he realizes how important this game is right now.
Right on the money, Quint. Right on the money. Amari Jackson.
It's tough for us to get out of the bus. Hey, not those guys.
Great line by one of the coaches last year. We were at Rutgers. South Florida came up. Hey, if it gets below 50, we need a baseball bat to get him off the bus. Bad pitch. Ponton. Well, take it out of bounds. Cornelius Campbell made the play there. Number 99. Nicely done by the Syracuse Orange.
Grothy going to his right on the option. And he gets hit as he's pitching the football, and that caused the pitch out in front of Ricky Ponton. It looked like one of the defensive linemen couldn't tell which number, but one of the bigs on the inside might have been Campbell, 99, that gets a hand on Grothy, and he is a big man inside, 6'4", 290, the junior out of Fort Washington, Maryland.
They lose 7 yards on that play. Second down at 16 coming up from the 42-yard line. Ponton to the left now. Grothy, 12 seconds to go in the first quarter. And That'll do it right there. Boy, very conservative play. Chris Thorner, the senior from West Suffield, Connecticut, a 1-yard loss. So successive plays with losses here caused by the D-line of the Syracuse Orange. But Jim Leavitt's club will go to the second quarter holding a 7-3 lead as the Orange try to end a 4-game losing streak. But it may be tough with Grothe making plays like that. Start of the second quarter, Big East football. Dave Sims, John Kinjemi, Quint Kesnick, and the Big East crew. South Florida with a 7-3 lead on a Grothe 6-yard pass to S.J. Green. Patrick Shadle with the field goal for the Orange. There's your rushing numbers. Not pretty for Syracuse, but they put more of a premium on throwing the ball to this point.
Yeah, I thought Syracuse did a nice job coming out and using Patterson, his left arm, to move the football.
3rd down and 18 at the 43. 10th play of a drive that started at South Florida's 16-yard line. Grothe 9 of 10, 118 to 6 different receivers. Throwing far side and completes it. And he gets it out to Amp Hill, the 6'3 sophomore from Monticello, Florida. Nick Chestnut on the carry. That's a gain of 13. Nick Chestnut on the tackle, beg your pardon.
Brings up an interesting decision for the head coach, Jim Leavitt, for the Bulls. Do they go for it here on 4th down? Looks like they are.
Syracuse last in total defense. South Florida 4th in total offense in Big East play. A motion Jackson. Now he doubles back. Backside blitz. Grothe hangs fire. Man throws it incomplete. Boy, he had 2 guys to the near side on the pressure, though. Jamar Atkinson from the backside. Nicely done by number 53.
Good pressure by the Orange coming from the backside, and I think a healthy Matt Grothe would continue out here on the sprint and maybe put more pressure on the edge. He pulls up to try to square his shoulders and throw the football, but he pulls up into the heat. He had Chambers open, but he just couldn't deliver the football.
So the opposition is now 3 out of 10 against Syracuse on 4th down. Now let's see what they come back. They've been early in the first couple of possessions, mainly short underneath passes by Perry Patterson.
It might not be a bad idea, Dave, to go up top here.
There's a play fake, waggling back far side. Patterson throws short, in and out of the hands of Ferrin. Another receiver was in the same neighborhood, and that was Tim Lane, who looks like he's shaken up, number 81. You see him leaving the field. Second drop by Ferrin.
We talked about the drops in the open, and you have to help out your quarterback. And week in and week out, just, too many drops. And I'm not sure if Perry Patterson throws a heavy ball or something, because it's just not one person, it's everybody.
Yeah, but you practice with them every day.
Yeah.
2nd down and 10. Syracuse has come out throwing football today. A rare run, and Brinkley, that's why they've been throwing mainly, because Pat St. Louis and company have really stunted the run game, and now St. Louis looks like he's injured. A couple of weeks ago, when the Syracuse Orange played at Cincinnati, you want to see some drop balls?
Yeah, that was the story, Dave. And Cincinnati, they're one of the better defenses in the Big East Conference, can put a lot of pressure on you, but a lot of guys wide open in that secondary, and Syracuse just didn't come up with the football. 2
drops today, both by Ferrin. Out pattern, nice catch, 1st down. Rice Moss on the far side at the 41-yard line, picks up 10. Moss starting to come on the last few games. Came into the game with 15 catches, couple today. Junior out of North Bethesda, Maryland, 6'2". Got 2 catches for 25 yards.
Yeah, a lot of cushion on the top side of the football field for Moss to get in and out of the route, and that was a good catch.
Patterson looking at 4 down linemen. Keep it on the ground, nothing. Yep, he's looking at a 60-throw day, John. His run game's not going anywhere. Patterson 7 of 12 for 49 yards. That tackle made by Woody George.
Especially as this offensive line tires, Dave, and that South Florida Bulls defense is able to get penetration and win that first step on the line of scrimmage. And that tells the story right there, Dave. That first drive to the last 2.
Penalty flag now, thrown by the line judge. And this one going against the Syracuse Orange. So Syracuse taking over on downs, and now that a little bit of a drive is starting to move, and the legal procedure is going to back them up.
And I think Greg Robinson has a point. They called it on wide receiver Mike Williams, and they hadn't even gotten really into the cadence, so you're allowed to motion, and I kind of agree with him on that play.
Mike Williams and LeVar Lobdell, bottom of the screen here on the second down at 16 at the 35. Drive started at the 30. Blitz coming, it's picked up. Patterson flush, keeps alive, and then finally taken down. He's spun down by Ben Moffitt. Second sack this afternoon by the South Florida Bulls. Well, that gives the Bulls 22 sacks on the season. Again today, 6th in the conference.
Good look at Ben Moffitt just taking on the block of Curtis Brinkley and shrugging him away and getting this big quarterback Perry Patterson to the ground. Good job by Moffitt. He came in with 2 sacks on the season, give him 3, and this is the speed and the pressure that the Bulls defense puts on an opposing quarterback.
Back to the 30 where this drive began, 3rd and 21. They rush 4. Look out, backside blitz, free ball. It's recovered by Syracuse. Chris Robinson, the freshman from Bunnell, Florida. Second time we've called his name today. A loss of 6. Boy, he came in pretty much untouched. Boy, that looked like a sprint competition.
Yeah, I'm not sure Marvin McCall knew the snap count because Chris Robinson was by him, and it looked like he was still in his stance.
Second time we see Carney punt today. Went for 46. Last time, most of that was on a roll. It was at a high snap from Ian Hammond. Pretty good snap. A Sailor turns over, backs up Randolph. Nicely done. 27-yard line. See if he can get some room. Finds a crease. If he can get to the alley, it's going to be trouble. And a great job by Syracuse as Randolph gets to the 31-yard line. A return of 6 yards on a 49-yard punt. That was a 4-2 hanger there. Dan Maljevic with the tackle. But Chris Robinson making news on that sack. Perry Patterson, no chance here. South Florida with the 7-3 lead. D coordinator Wally Burnham with 3 of the best linebackers, maybe the best trio in the conference. Moffitt, St. Louis, and Nicholas. South Florida with a 7-3 lead, and defense has been a big story so far.
It really has. Robinson's at the end here, and he's going to make a sprint right by Marvin McCall. McCall doesn't even get a hand on him, and he goes right to Perry Patterson, causing the forced fumble. And luckily enough for Syracuse, they get back on it. But that's a couple times that Robinson has made big plays for this Bull defense.
And McCall in only his 2nd career start.
Yeah.
As Syracuse continues to shuffle that O-line looking for any kind of combination. Here's Grothy play fake. Out on the edge, looking, gets outside past McLean. Stutter steps, he beats Luke Kane. How about that? Grothy with a bad ankle and all has some words for Greg Robinson. Picks up 13 on the play. Joe Fields finally gets him out of bounds. That was a very nifty play.
Grothy has a knack of making himself get small and get by people. And watch, I'm not sure if he has the burst he had last week due to that injury, but he runs right by McLean there. Stutter step move to the outside by Kane, and then he gets Greg Robinson on the sideline, and coach says, "You okay?" He said, "Yeah, I'm doing fine, coach, thanks."
Boy, Kane whiffed on that one. Tough break. Grothy following his guard, gets outside. Following Ryan Schmidt. Jamar Atkinson with the tackle, a gain of 6. Well, Matt Grothy, you got to start putting him in the sentence with some outstanding performers who started quickly in their careers. Vic and McNabb, you know them well. And that's what they did, and that's how Grothy compares to them as a freshman. Very impressive. 2nd down and 4. Good play action opportunity here. Actually, it's going to be a throw, it appears. Indeed it is. Pretty good protection over the middle. Man there. 1st down and more. 35 to the 30-yard line. That's Marcus Edwards with another catch. He picks up 20. Finally brought down by Joe Fields.
I really like when the South Florida Bulls go empty, no backs in the backfield, and put pressure on the Syracuse defense because they have too much speed at the skill positions for Syracuse. Those zones, Syracuse cannot get to the football quick enough, and the Bulls are doing a great job of spreading it out and let their freshman quarterback just pick and choose where he wants to throw the football.
How about Edwards? 3 catches, 39 yards. Here's Ponton this time. Good play coming in from the edge, number 28. That's Tenard Jackson. Fine tackler, senior from Silver Spring, Maryland. Got to believe he's going to be playing on Sundays next year. Pretty good size at 6'1", 193. Good tackler, pretty good cover guy. Yeah, the Florida speed looks like it's going to start taking its toll. And the sun did go in a little bit. Randolph and Green, top of the screen. And then you have Jackson and Hill at the bottom. Syracuse rushes 4 on a loop pattern. Murphy with time, man there, back in the end zone. Jackson, all he had, it should have had 6. Should have been 6. Torres Johnson was right there. Good throw by Matt Grothy, the closest defenders, Joe Fields. Boy, he had a 6-pack right there.
Dave, that's a great throw over the free safety, Joe Fields, and I think Johnson was so concerned about keeping his body and his 1 foot in bounds that he doesn't run through the ball, just goes right through his arms. Ooh. Perfect throw by the quarterback, Matt Grothy.
Boy, you talk about hitting it on a dime. Wow. 3rd down and 9 coming up from the 29. 9:34 to go here in the second. Tell you what, John, I think you made a great point during the break. A touchdown here is going to put Syracuse in serious jeopardy. Not a quick strike offense by any stretch of the imagination. Grothy in trouble. Look at the escapability. Got a man, 2 men down there. I was going to say, if he made that catch, that would have been one of the best ones we've seen all year. Edwards made the attempt in between Lemon and Fields. Also in the neighborhood was Torres Johnson. Good pressure by Jamar Atkinson for the Orange.
Joe Fields came out of center field and delivered a pop on the outside that may have saved Syracuse 6 points or a chance. Edwards does a nice job of seeing his quarterback scramble and then go up the field, but watch the hit by number 5 right there. Good job of Terrell Lemon also covering on the play, but a good combination of Lemon and Fields to separate the football from Marcus Edwards.
Here's Delbert Alvarado from 47 yards out. His career best is 26 yards. And he puts a 3 spot on the board. They settle for the field goal. And nicely done out there. And here's South Florida, Jim Leavitt and company, with a touchdown lead at 10-3 here in Big East football from Tampa, Florida. And it flew down from the northeast, although it's not super cold up there. But why not come down here to South Florida, Tampa area here on the West Coast, as we play some football here at Raymond James Stadium. 10-3 South Florida. Alvarado with a 47-yard field goal. As we take a look at the Polaris out-of-town scoreboard, Thursday night, what a night in Piscataway, New Jersey. Chris Carlin, the radio voice of Rutgers, said it's pandemonium in Piscataway. West Virginia up early on Cincinnati. Georgia 7-0 over Auburn. That's an important game in the Southeastern Conference. Boy, they play some great ball down there as well. Jason Tanner kicking off. Tanner, beg your pardon, is deep to receive along with Curtis Brinkley. There's Teachy. Low line drive, bobbled, and they'll keep it right there. That is Breon Evans, a backup fullback. I bet he was the most surprised man at Florida on that one.
He looked like it.
I don't mind carrying the ball, but let's not get ridiculous.
Yeah, only when my number is called.
That's right. Now, we started the show talking about the non-support that Patterson's been getting, and it continues today.
Well, the problem with that offensive line, they really haven't found a combination that works on a consistent basis. Yes, they've had their moments, but too many hits on a quarterback, Perry Patterson, you're going to lead to turnovers.
3 sacks today by South Florida. Here's a nice-looking run. They've got it a house here. Here's Carter to the end of the wheels. No, sir, but it's a first down for Syracuse inside the 30-yard line. He was tracked down by Trey Williams. A big run by DeJuan Carter for 47 yards. That's a career best.
He just gets a crease off this side, and all he needs is a crease. You see there, over pursuing by the Bulls. They get outside of Carter, and then Carter tries to take it the distance. Trey Williams on the tackle, but watch everybody over pursue the football. A lot of green jerseys to the outside, and then Carter breaks an arm tackle, and it's off to the races.
Same thing we said about Carter all year. He's a great cutback runner. Picks up about 2, and that play is eerily reminiscent of what Larod Stevens-Howling at Pittsburgh did to Syracuse at Syracuse for a 71-yarder that broke open that game several weeks ago.
Carter getting a rest on the sideline, a well-deserved rest. 4 rushes, 58 yards, and you see the average, but Syracuse trying to answer now with 8:20 left to go in this second quarter, trying to get on the scoreboard and tie this game.
John, as we've talked about for every game we've done at Syracuse, it's critical. They've got to tie it here. 3's not going to get it done. Shara's in the game. And he's going to throw it. He's going to throw it. Penalty flag. Shara looking for some room. And, oh, man, he paid a price by going back inside as he barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Stephen Nicholas on the tackle. Moffitt there as well. Like they might have tried to get back to Perry Patterson back on the far side. That would have been a heck of a throw.
Yeah.
A hold will hurt the Syracuse cause here. See if they decline. If they decline, it'll be a 3rd and about 7. If they take it, it'll be a 2nd and 12. Actually, holding penalty would make it 2nd and 22. They're going to wipe it out, bring up 3rd down.
Looked like you were right, Dave. Patterson's going to pitch the football and then maybe try to get it back, but it's a tackle in the middle of the line of scrimmage. It looked like by the tight end, Brandon Darling, and then another one closer to your screen.
You bet. You saw that? That guy got hit from behind.
There was a couple of them.
Lost the 3 on the play. Carter back in the game. 3rd down and 10, 28-yard line. Rice Moss, far side. Mike Williams at the bottom of the screen. South Florida shows blitz. They bring it. Patterson deep drop. Gets rid of it. Got tipped. Incomplete. He was looking tremendous pressure from Pat St. Louis. He was going far side Tim Lane. That might have been a timing thing where he just didn't get rid of it quickly.
You know, we were talking earlier, Perry Patterson, that first drive, a lot of quick passes. Get the football back and get it out of your hand. This time it's a half roll, and the offensive line just aren't protecting long enough, and he gets hit from behind by St. Louis. So maybe go back to that quick crossing routes and get the ball out of Perry Patterson's hands.
45-yard attempt by Patrick Shadle, the sophomore from Morgantown, West Virginia. He's on the board already from 29 yards. His career best. Sophomore, just a 46-yarder. The hold is Brendan Kearney and Ian Hammond on the snap. Shadle nicely struck end over end. Oh, he hit the upright. Tough break. So Shadle had plenty of distance. He hit from 29 and now misses from 45.
Dave, you called it. It was struck well. It had plenty of distance, but just hits that right upright. He had the lean going, and it just didn't happen for him. Plenty of distance on the kick.
So now, again, the Syracuse offense will be tested. A one-score game right now. 3 times out remaining for South Florida. Syracuse has 2. Clock runs at 7:19 here in the second. Grothy in a rare appearance under center. Waggle back to the right. Gonna run it. And he slips down. Picks up about 5 on the play. Brought down by Tony Jenkins.
Such an important part of the game for this Syracuse defense of trying to go 3 plays and out. But Grothy, good play faking. He's going to waggle out to the wide side of the field, but he just doesn't have that burst that he had last week, and that's due to that injury suffered to that foot.
Still picked up 6. That tells you how good a year he's been having. He doesn't have that burst. Get it out to Amari Jackson. Jackson picks up the first down to about the 42. Taken out of bounds by Dwayne Davis and Kelvin Smith. A gain of 10. First down, South Florida. They're going to keep it right at the line of scrimmage with this jet offense.
South Florida has so many athletes to the outside. You can put a number on anybody, and they look the same. When they catch the football, they look like they could take it the distance.
Yep. From the 43-yard line. Got Colby Erskine is in the game, number 29. In the slot, bottom of your screen. First and 10, 43-yard line. Ponton found a little bit of a crease. Kelvin Smith takes him down after a 4-yard gain.
Well, Grothy gets a lot of these signals in from the sidelines, and it all starts up top with offensive coordinator Rod Smith. He's going to call the play down to Carl Franks, who you see at the top of your screen, and it'll get into Grothy, but Grothy may already start calling the play and then look over to the sidelines, and if there's a change that needs to be needed, Carl Franks will then signal that to the receivers, the running backs, and Grothy at the same time.
8 different receivers today. There's Grothy. Will make it. Big running room here at 40. 38-yard line. Cedric Hill, the sophomore out of Valdosta, Georgia. Brought down by Lemon and Fields. A gain of 16. Another first down for South Florida.
Great call that time by offensive coordinator Rod Smith. He coaches the quarterbacks as well, and he's responsible for Matt Grothy. And Grothy's doing an excellent job of throwing the football and distributing the football on this to his wideouts and running backs. And Carl Franks, the running back coach, he's responsible for getting all those plays into all those people.
Heck of a system. Inside handoff just to show them that they can still run it. And Benjamin Williams, what did he pay a price? Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Run it right into Arthur Jones and company.
Yeah, you don't want to go into the inside of that Syracuse defense one too many times, because they will hit you. But you got to get on the edge, and that's where you can take advantage of South Florida's speed and the lack of the ability of stopping them on the edge from the orange.
Inside 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. 10-3 South Florida. Grothy with a touchdown pass to S.J. Green. Alvarado with a 47-yard field goal. Here's Grothy. Wow, that's a nice catch. Reaching out with the left hand is Colby Erskine, the 5'9" freshman from Seminole, Florida. That's 10 different receivers today that Grothy's connected with.
What a catch by Erskine on the outside. He made it look like he was another day at the office. Brings up that left hand and just takes it in. Great job by the freshman.
They're used to seeing guys like Plexico Burris at 6'6" make plays like that, but a 5'9" point guard basically out there. Done a fine job. His 4th catch of the season. He's rushed it 6 times for 7 yards.
You could see him on that replay run by Greg Robinson, and Greg was like, you got to be kidding me. We can't catch it with 2 hands.
Timeout burned by South Florida. Both teams with 2 times out remaining. We'll take a break. Matt Grothy has South Florida on a roll with 4:47 to go here in the second, leading by the count of 10-3 over the Syracuse Orange. 10-3 lead for the South Florida Bulls over the Syracuse Orange here in Big East football. And don't forget, join us again next Saturday, noon Eastern. Get a look at Terry Cawley and the UConn Huskies. They head to the Carrier Dome to take on Jamil McLean and the Syracuse Orange. Big East game of the week. UConn and Syracuse next Saturday at noon Eastern, only from ESPN+. Syracuse seeing South Florida on the move here. 3rd down and 3 at the 31. This drive started at the 28-yard line. And some very nice throws by Matt Grothy. To 10 different receivers. 3-man rush quickly out of his hands. Far side. Another first down. Taurus Johnson caught it in front of Nick Chestnut. Against that 3-man rush. Got rid of it quickly. Picks up 10.
They are wearing Syracuse out to the short side of the field with the combination route. You clear out and you just dump it underneath, and that's been there all afternoon.
Chestnut, you saw him slip. I don't know if there was coverage up top, but there was somebody running right down the sideline. 1st and 10. Inside the 22-yard line. Here's a handoff. Amari Jackson, we saw the block there. Amari out of bounds. Picks up about 3. But they're just yo-yoing Syracuse wide right, wide left, short side, near side. The speed kills.
Ricky Ponton, number 5, the running back, just laid out Tenard Jackson, and that enabled the running back or the wide receiver to get to the edge. Here's the block right there on the edge. Just a decleater by Ricky Ponton, and that allows Jackson to get to the edge.
Get the number on that little vehicle. 2nd and 6 at the 17. Play fake punt. Grothy keeps it alive. Got a lot of folks open. Tight end Blakely drives forward to the 7. Penalty flag, however, back at the 20-yard line. Blakely was the outlet. Mackey on the tackle.
And that was a late flag by the referee.
And this is going to be brought back. About the 3rd hold, right?
Yeah.
See Jim Leavitt saying 55. He's getting on his 2nd team All Big East performer, Ted Watson.
Yeah, it's back in the middle of your screen. That's not a hold. That's a good job. That's a bad call. That's a good job by Watson of pinning his guy down, and I think that Ted knows it was a bad call because he did a great job on that play.
And that was a football play, overpowering his man. He pile drived him. Be interesting to watch what Ted does on this play, because somebody may be in for a bruising here. 3rd hold by South Florida today. Ponton and Jackson, part of a trips formation, top the screen. 3-man rush. Grothy steps up, and indeed there's that burst that's not there. Take nothing away from the fine play of Arthur Jones, but last week when we saw Grothy, he might have been 10 yards upfield. Let's check in with Quint Kesnick on the sideline.
Dave, it's unfortunate for Thed Watson. The only time he gets mentioned is when he's guilty of a holding violation. This kid is an unreal talent. He runs extremely well, somewhere in the 4.8, 4.9 range, and that is quick for a guy his size. He played tight end in high school, and he pulls real well also. You'll see him also pull out of there, left to right, and get in front of Grothy on some of his waggles.
No doubt about it. Grothy hanging, firing, man there, caught at about the 16-yard line, and he fights his way. That's Amp Hill. Picked up a couple of yards after being engaged with Terrell Lemon. Picks up 12 on that play.
Amp Hill
shoved them out of bounds.
Sorry, Dave. Amp Hill does a great job on the comeback route. He attacks the football, and then he goes to the sideline and fights through the tackle of Terrell Lemon. Good job and good effort on the outside by Amp Hill.
Here's a field goal attempt by Delbert Alvarado. 30 yards, left hash. And that field goal attempt is no good. So he's 47 yards Alvarado hit from, and now he misses from 30. So Greg Robinson exhorting his ball club. They're still within a touchdown as we look at the Advance Auto Parts upcoming schedule for the best parts, people, and prices. We're ready in advance. Season dwindling to the precious few.
Yeah, we'll be at that game on the 18th, Connecticut at Syracuse, but USF, look at these 2 games on the bottom. They've got at Louisville and then at West Virginia.
How do you do?
Yeah, they need to get to 7 wins, and they need to do it today if you're a Bulls fan.
Here what Syracuse can come up with. Starting this back 1st and 10 at the 20. They give it to Brinkley, gives some ground, and picks up some ground. Forced out of bounds by Mike Jenkins, the cornerback.
Curtis Brinkley, tackle by number 4, Mike Jenkins.
3:02 to go. And here's what Grothy has done on the season. Look what he's done in the first half.
Yeah, monster first half for Matt Grothy. 207 yards passing, and he's not 100%, and he's been that productive.
Run the ball pretty effectively, too. Blitz coming. Patterson throws it and caught for first down. 35-yard line. Nice job. Tommy Ferrin, his first catch of the day. 12-yarders, dropped a couple. Time trying to get something going here.
Great job by Perry Patterson. It just shows the strength in the pocket that Perry possesses. Look, he's going to have his shirt grabbed from behind. He still has the presence and the concentration to look downfield and find his tight end.
Remember they used to have the tearaways in the Southeast and Southwestern Conference? Patterson in trouble now. Sack. Lose a few yards on that one. Selvey is there along with Robinson. 4th sack today.
Dave, you mentioned that. I always remember Earl Campbell going through about 4 or 5 jerseys.
Lost 3. I can give you another one. How about Johnny Musso? Remember him with Alabama? He'd be ripping off runs on the
Billy
on the
Sims.
Edge. Sure. 2:16 to go. See if they try to get something with Mike Williams paired up against Mike Jenkins. And now, penalty flag.
Prior to snaps. Ball start on the offense. Number 59. 5-yard penalty. Remains second.
So Carroll Madison called for that infraction. I think that was influenced by the defensive unit.
Well, Dave, there's a lot of people on this offensive line, and there's some finger pointing going on. It could have been you, could have been you. Josh Jomas is pointing out everybody on that offensive line.
Looking to be a referee intern before he gets out of South Florida. Under 2 to play. Blitz coming. Patterson in trouble. Holds on to it. Nobody to throw to, and Jomas chases him out of bounds. Boy, they brought the whole package. Moffitt was bringing it. St. Louis, and I just saw a very nice piece of sportsmanship. You see that? Moffitt? That's beautiful. Moffitt and Ryan Duran.
Yeah.
They were competing, and they said, yo, nice play. They give each other a little pound there. That was very nice. It was off camera, but that you generally don't see that. Nicely done, gentlemen. Mr. Durand and Mr. Moffitt, we applaud you. Good stuff.
Timeout taken by South Florida. I think they had one too many players in there on this 3rd and 15.
Personnel grouping, and there's some steamed coaches down in that South Florida. D-line coach Bernard Clark is pretty angry. There's Wally Burnham, the D coordinator, and there's some miscommunication there. Stay with us, everybody. Coming up at halftime, our studio is going to preview some of the late games, and we'll take a look at out-of-town scores and the BCS top 25 standings and some first-half highlights and stats. If you're Greg Robinson and company, you're only down 10-3 with some of the bad things that have happened today. You will take that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, especially if you can convert on 3rd and 15 and keep this drive alive and try to get some points before halftime.
Syracuse, 1 of 7 on 3rd down. They need to get something going here. What would you look for if you're Brian White, if you're Greg Robinson? What are you calling here?
Well, first you have to protect. I mean, 3rd and 15, you'd like to get something going across the middle so you can get somebody with a full head of steam to outrace somebody from the Bulls because they have so much team speed. You want to get them running away from guys. But first and foremost, the main concern for Brian White is the offensive coordinator. You have to protect Perry Patterson.
Many successful years with the Wisconsin Badgers as offensive coordinator out there for Barry Alvarez. A couple of Rose Bowls, Ron Dane, Heisman Trophy winner.
You know, you may want to screen. It looked like Brian White was talking to Farron about giving a good shiver on the line of scrimmage. You may want to scream and use it to your advantage, all that pressure that the Bulls have been coming up with up the field. Maybe a middle screen to the tight end.
There's Tom Farron. A couple of drops today, but most dependable receiver. He's got 1 catch for 13 yards. Syracuse needs to come up big here in a 3rd and 15 at its own 31. 4-man rush. Patterson pumps, stands in, throws, and got it. Mike Williams. He's got the first down. Holds on to the ball, and it's a first down in South Florida territory at the 44-yard line. Ben Moffitt is there. A gain of 25 yards.
Perry Patterson did a great job of moving within the pocket to buy himself some extra time, and he threw a strike on the outside to Mike Williams. Perry looks to his right first and then finds his outlet receiver in Williams.
And one thing about Williams, he's got a big league arm. Stands, fires, man there. Oh, looks like it's intercepted, but no, they're going to wave it off. He threw it behind. Looked like Tom Farron running a seam pattern, and it went right behind him as he was going down the hash marks.
Verpale looked like 17. The defensive back for the Bulls had a chance to come up with the interception. Patterson lets his football, not a good throw, and it gets just through the arms of Danny Verpale.
Danny was all over that. Sophomore out of Merritt Island, Florida. Curtis Brinkley the setback on the 2nd down and 10.
May want to take another chance with Williams wide out.
Williams one-on-one. Patterson sacked, however, by Josh Jonas. 5th sack on the day. Excessive celebration. You got to be kidding me.
Come on, that's terrible.
Did a somersault and he got flagged for it. Well, we saw one of those here last week. Derek Strong, tight end for Pittsburgh, flipped off the crowd. Dave Monstead has since suspended him indefinitely, and now Julmus is going to be called.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct on South Florida. Number 91. Excessive celebration. 15-yard penalty. 3rd down.
All right, Jim Leavitt trying to get a break. It's not going to get one. That's on the books. Can't do that. No excessive celebration. Period. End of statement.
Well, great job. No one actually touches Julmus, and he rolls over, and now
Yeah, that's.
I guess that is excessive. He's just happy about getting to the quarterback, but you can't do that. You know, his guy pushes him in the back, but you can't do that.
Yeah, but he clearly, he didn't push him into the somersault. That was thought about. He thought about that. Come on now. Patterson, look out. Backside, got creamed. Moffitt and Selby, loss of a yard. Curious call.
Yes. Very curious call. On 3rd and long, Patterson trying to sweep to the wide side, but there's just too much speed on that Bulls defense.
Florida speed, my man. Florida speed. Syracuse going to burn a timeout with 33 seconds to go.
Seems like they're keeping him in the game. You know, it just seems like that the South Florida Bulls are giving chances away, but Syracuse, if they continue not to take advantage, they're going to get left behind.
A lot of times you'll see now, grant you, and I do a lot of pro football, but and we've all seen a lot of pro football. A lot of times you'd see a pro team take a shot in the end zone, get a PI, get a pass interference. Put your guys in a position to make a big play. It takes a while for Perry Patterson to get that motor started running the football. So his greatest asset is his ability to stand in there and throw the football.
Yeah, stand in, elude people, and even with people hanging on him, be able to get the football close for a guy like Mike Williams or a guy like Tom Farron to make a play. You know, the heat has been on Perry Patterson, Dave, all afternoon, and it's something that this offensive line has to start taking a little bit more pride in keeping their quarterback on his feet, because he cannot continue to take this abuse and be able to deliver down the football field. And it's been not just one guy. It's been Salvi, it's been Julmus, it's been George, it's been Moffitt, St. Louis, Nicholas. All of the defense for the Bulls have been able to get in. And today you see 31 yards. I mean, they've done a great job of really making a stalemate to this Syracuse defense.
33 seconds. Boy, you put a star next to that in your scorebook. 3rd and 5, 33 seconds to go, and you run a keeper. If they take a shot near the end zone, a 3rd and 5, blitz coming, deep drop, Patterson flushed, in trouble. Penalty flag, throws it incomplete. Wow, a hold against Syracuse.
Holding on the offense. Number 60. Penalties declined. 1st down.
So that was 4th down. Justin Otten called for that penalty. So 27 seconds to go. If they can prevent a score here, you're Syracuse, you're real happy being down just 10-3.
I think so. And Otten got caught off balance. He's in the middle right there. He must hold right there as he's going away. There's the hold right there in the middle of your screen on the bottom. And Perry Patterson's been taking a beating. He's been getting, hit from every angle.
Grothy, they're going for it. Oh, chest catch. Spoiled having watched Larry Fitzgerald in this league. And that time he let the ball get to his body. Marcus Edwards, who's having a fantastic day. Marcus with 3 catches for 40 yards.
Grothy's done a nice job of distributing the football. Multiple receivers, 10 different receivers catching it for the Bulls offense.
Juice rushes 3. Grothy goes the other side. This time it's caught. Good tackle by Tenard Jackson on S.J. Green. That's a good stick on the far side.
The Bulls take another timeout. 8 seconds left to go. Good throw by Grothy on the outside. He's been able to deliver the football with limited mobility, from his foot injury. He's done a good job running the football, but he just doesn't have that burst he had last week. But he's done a great job of leading this team and moving the football. And you have the feel that there should be more than 10 points on the scoreboard.
Rod Smith, the O coordinator, and Jim Leavitt. If there's a big harangue at halftime, you'll understand, because it does feel like they're up by 17.
Grothy with only 10 seconds now on the clock. 3rd and 2. They will try to push the football down the field and get a stoppage with the first down. In talking to his running back coach, Carl Franks, who's responsible for getting those plays in and out. And the Syracuse defense, they've done a nice job. Calvin Smith, 2nd in the Big East in total tackles with 86. He's been moving sideline to sideline, but I just think Greg Robinson's team just lacking a little bit of that team speed against these athletes on the edge for South Florida.
No question about it. Going back to your point about this, feels like more than a 10-3 lead. Total yards, South Florida 270. Syracuse a $115.
Yeah.
Grothy, sideline ball caught, far side. And he got it to Marcus Edwards. 6 seconds left on the clock. At 0.6. That's 6 seconds to go. So he picks up 13. 6-yard attempt. Matt Bryant hit a 62-yarder for the Bucks going in this direction, I believe it was. Yeah, it was going in this direction. Alvarado. Boy, hit it well. Got a chance.
He got it.
Oh, he hit it from 57 yards out. Goodness gracious. Delbert Alvarado, a freshman from Robinson High School, right here in Tampa, Florida, from 56 yards out at the buzzer. Goodness gracious. 13-3 South Florida. Boy, that was well struck. What'd you say, about a 4-iron, John?
Yeah, a good one underneath the trees.
Boy, did he hit that, second longest in school history. And Quint Kesnick standing by with Jim Leavitt.
Thanks, Dave. Coach, you march the ball up and down the field, yet you're only up by a few. Well, what's your big point of emphasis in terms of red zone offense?
Well, we're killing ourselves. You know, we're making too many mistakes, too many penalties. Certainly, we've dropped some passes that we got to be able to catch, and you know, we just got to play our game.
The point of emphasis now, knowing what's at stake for your ball club.
Well, you know, we got to know what's at stake. We just got to, like I said, we just got to quit, you know, kicking ourselves, you know, with the penalties. The penalties are really hurting us right now, so we got to get corrected.
Last thing, Coach, you're putting great pressure on their quarterback. How are you doing it?
I'm bringing a whole lot more people that can block.
Dave, back to you.
All right, Quint, thank you. And there's some vocal cords in distress right there.
Yes, sir.
Here's Grothy on the outside. Carter broke a big one. But sacks have been the story. They put tremendous pressure on Perry Patterson. And how about Alvarado nuking one from 56? Welcome back, everybody. It's at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. A look at the Sky Bridge over Tampa Bay. The South Florida Bulls have a 13-3 lead over the Syracuse Orange as we take a look at our Polaris out-of-town scoreboard. The Mountaineers at home in Morgantown pouring it on Cincinnati early in the third, 21-3. Georgia blowing out Auburn at Auburn. That's in the first quarter. Wisconsin in an important Big Ten clash in Iowa City up by 3. Georgia Tech over struggling North Carolina. Right now, let's move on to our ESPNU All-State Standings Review. Big East well represented. And the BCS standings, Louisville and West Virginia for this week. Look for Rutgers to crack that top 10 next week. They'll be framing that picture next week. Rutgers 13 as we stand. And the Big East, the BCS standings will come out tomorrow afternoon. They'll be popping some champagne in Piscataway, New Jersey. When we get back to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, we'll take a look at some first half highlights and some stats. 13-3, South Florida leading Syracuse. South Florida over the Syracuse Orange as we look at the Pirate replica in the end zone here at Raymond James Stadium. I'm trying to refrain from saying ARG, but I'm here.
Yeah, you might as well.
What the heck? Dave Simpson trying to get Jimmy with the 10-point lead for South Florida. It feels like it could be at least twice that.
Well, I think Grothy's been the story offensively for South Florida. They've done whatever they wanted to do throwing the football on the edge, and they've had a good job of play action, and then he finds S.J. Green for the 6-yard completion for the touchdown. The Can-Am first half highlights are just doing a great job of also pressuring the pocket. Chris Robinson, St. Louis, Ben Moffitt, Stephen Nicholas, Woody George. You can go on. Salvi there does a great job of pressuring the pocket and putting Perry Patterson down. But then the big field goal, the 56-yarder by Delbert Alvarado. Just a great job of a way to get to halftime with that lead of 13-3.
Second longest, first one, the best was Bill Gramatica against Austin Peay some years ago. Here's a look at the first half numbers with it. Sacks. I mean, that's the one you got to look at right there. 5
sacks and third down conversions. 2 of 8. Only 115 yards of total yards and only 28 yards rushing. So they're going to have to throw the football in the second half and keep Perry Patterson protected in that pocket.
May have to run, fewer guys in a pattern and just max protect.
Yeah.
Second half kickoff. South Florida is going to have the ball when we return to Raymond James Stadium. This is Big East football from Tampa, Florida. Alvarado having a terrific day and a 10-point lead for the Bulls. Good look at the University of South Florida. About 10 minutes from campus, 12 miles, I said 10 minutes, 12 miles from Raymond James Stadium, founded in 1956, one of the largest research universities in the country, serves 43,000 plus students on 4 campuses and offers more than 200 degree programs at all levels. 10 years, this football program's been on the scene and made a pretty good impact. 5-5 in Big East play in a year and change. South Florida's going to get the ball in the third quarter. Has been miserable for Syracuse. The last 4 games, they've been outscored 66-18. About a yard deep in the end zone is Taurus Johnson. And that looked like Brendan Carney got checked that. That was, I thought it was Carney originally. It was Jake Flaherty in on the tackle. Let's check in with Quint Kesnick. What did you hear at halftime, Quint?
Well, Dave, the key for Syracuse, as you mentioned, the third quarter, in their 6 losses, they've been outscored 48-0. The key adjustment that needs to be made right now is pass protection. 5 sacks. I talked to Brian White about it. He says we're going to max protect a little more. We're also going to move him around the pocket. The key, though, is communication. When they zone blitz you, you've got to communicate from lineman to lineman.
Quint, great information. Let's see if they can execute. That's going to be the key thing. I'm not surprised to hear max protect.
Yeah, you called that as well.
And now they rush Marcus Edwards onto the field. Got 4 seconds, 3 seconds on the play clock. 2-1. And they burn a timeout.
Timeout. South Florida.
Inauspicious start to the second half. Boy, that was not smooth.
And there's some confusion on the sidelines because it looked like Grothy was talking to the referee the entire time.
Grothy thought he had more time on the play clock.
Yeah.
When I realized, I looked up, it was only 4 seconds. He was acting like he had about 14 or 15.
Yeah, we saw Marcus Edwards sprint on late to the field.
Thinking about Syracuse, when they do get the ball back, if they max protect, speed guys, Mike Williams is their fastest guy. Figure you got to go with him, right? You got to look for him a lot.
I would think so. I mean, that's the guy that makes plays for him offensively.
Right,
Moss has had a couple nice catches on the edge as well. But your playmaker on the outside would be Michael Williams.
Taj Smith, number 2. That's a critical loss for the Orange. That goes back. He broke a collarbone back on September 23rd versus Miami of Ohio. And he was the top receiver to that point with 12 catches. He was averaging just under 19 yards a catch. A 6'1 junior from Newark out of Bakersfield Community College in California. Is a native of Wequahic, New Jersey.
Just with him on the football field, Mike on the other side with number 1 and number 2. Now you've got some issues.
You got a quarterback with a big arm who can get it down there. There's Grothy on a play fake. Looks like they're going for some early play here in the second time. They settle in with the tight end Will Blakely as an outlet, and Will does a nice job, picks up the first down, a gain of 12, brought down by Nick Chestnut.
Dave, what I like about Grothy is he doesn't pass up the easy one for something big.
How about that?
If he gets out of control or he's out of the pocket, if he sees somebody that's an outlet, he gives him the football early enough so he can make a play with it after the catch. And that's a quality a lot of young quarterbacks don't have. They're trying to always make the big play. Grothy makes good decisions.
Syracuse opened the scoring. Shadle, a 29-yard field goal at the 10:08 mark in the first. It's been all South Florida since. And they hand off to Benjamin Williams. Brought down by Jerry Mackey. One touchdown in the game, a 6-yard pass from Grothy to S.J. Green, made it 7-3 at the 5:56 mark, and then Alvarado a 47-yarder, and then a 56-yarder as time ran out at halftime. Second down at 7 at the 38. Just underway, third quarter. Edwards, bottom of your screen. Grothy looking that way. And completes across the 45 to the 46 to Torres Johnson. Picks up 7 on that play. A lot of speed. If you're just joining us, a lot of speed in the receiving core of the South Florida Bulls. Edwards, Jackson, they can run. We've seen S.J. Green, Amp Hill, Torres Johnson, Ian Randolph. I mean, it's a phone book worth of receivers, for God's sake. Dave, Colby Erskine makes a one-handed catch.
You would think defensively at some point Syracuse is going to have to roll up the short side corner to take away that flat route by the inside receiver.
Good call. Tim Lane, he's out with a chest injury, so that doesn't help the Syracuse call. And Claus out there is pretty good run slicing forward for the first down. Benjamin Williams. And he got brought down by McLean with help from Dwayne Davis. So a first down for South Florida. Drive started on the 24, and they're moving already right at midfield.
Good job of knowing the situation by Benjamin Williams. He only needed a couple of yards for the first down, and once he got bounced up to the outside, he just fell forward enough for the first down.
Maury Jackson, handoff to him. He's thrown it against Louisville. He's got good blocking, got some space. Thrown out of bounds.
That should be 15.
Look at Jim Leavitt. That's a horse collar in the NFL. It's a 15. It's not in a college game.
He was well out of bounds, and there was enough time for Joe Fields to hold up on that tackle and sling out of bounds, and that's a bad no call, if you will, by the official. That definitely had to be 15 yards. Let's watch it again as Jackson goes out of bounds there. You just lay off right there. You don't throw to the ground. That's 15 yards.
Good call. I'll buy that, John. 3 runs, 26 yards for Amari Jackson. Benjamin Williams goes to the top of the screen, trips on to the far side. A short side throw again, and they get it to Torres Johnson. You're right, John, about rolling up that short side. They're just eating their lunch.
Yeah, you can just, you know, do whatever you wish from the hash or the numbers to the sidelines on the short side of the field. And Amari Jackson's been involved a lot of clearing out the wideout receiver spot so that slot receiver can get in to the boundary for Jim Leavitt and that offense for the Bulls.
One thing we talked about early on, we'll bring it up again, fatigue, heat factor. And with South Florida running this jet offense, they just get up the line of scrimmage and let's keep playing. Could be a factor. Grothy steps up. Nice job. Keeps the play alive. First down. Got it to S.J. Green. First down to the 14-yard line. Jerry Mackey covering for Syracuse. Grothy now has completed 22 passes. That's a season high. And an injured player is S.J. Green, who made that catch.
Matt Grothy does an excellent job of stepping up into the pocket to buy himself some time, but S.J. Green is going to find a big area right in the middle of that zone. He pays the price from Joe Fields, but he also keeps the play alive. Grothy sprinting to him, S.J. Green coming back towards this quarterback to help him out, makes the catch, but delivers or takes a big shot from behind.
Arthur Jones was the second guy in.
Yeah, Joe Fields was the first guy in on S.J. Green.
There's a look at Joe. Developing into pretty good free safety. Convinced not to transfer. Wanted to be a quarterback as we look at S.J. Green. Senior out of Brandon, Florida. There's Joe. Greg Robinson convinced him, hey, you got a better chance of playing on Sundays as a DB than as a 6'1 quarterback. And after a lot of contemplation, Joe decided to stay at Syracuse. Up the middle goes Benjamin Williams. Arthur Jones, who just came in on play, made the tackle. A lot of rotation up front in that D line for the Orange.
Well, this opening drive of this second half is a tale of two teams. A team that's surging in USF, trying to get to another another win to get to 7 wins and not only become bowl eligible last week, but actually go to a bowl, a good one, trying to get that score in the opening drive.
9th play of the drive that started at the 24, looking wide. Grothy staying alive, turns a corner. Grothy inside the 5. What a play. There's no way he should have been able to do that. Lee Williams got him out of bounds. Grothy, he's hobbled. Yeah, I want to be hobbled like that.
Yeah, me too. Come bang me in the foot up here in the booth.
8 yards.
Great job, Dave, of just keeping plays alive. He's so elusive that you really don't get a good shot at him, and he has enough speed to get to the edge and get to the outside. And another first down, a 1st and goal, gain of 8 yards by Grothy to match his number.
1st and goal at the 4. Cedric Hill in motion. They give it to Williams, left side to about the 1. Pretty good surge in there defensively. Kelvin Smith, the middle linebacker, plugging that hole. There's KJ, senior out of New Hempstead, New York, up in Rockland County, just north of the GW Bridge, north of New York City.
Benjamin Williams does all he can to get into the end zone, but too much strength by Calvin Smith, that middle linebacker, would not allow him. He's the first guy on the hit for the Orange.
There's Grothy. Williams. Oh, another stick by Kelvin. Loose ball. Still loose, and McLean is recovered for Syracuse. That is a humongous turnover. Might be the best one of the season for the Orange. Kelvin Smith blew it up, caused the fumble, and the first turnover of the ball game.
You called it, Dave. 2 plays in a row. Calvin Smith in with a big hit, and McLean on the fumble. The Bulls trying to go strength against strength, and no one gets a helmet on Calvin Smith. There's the strip of the football. It's out. Tenard Jackson tries to get it, but there's the big hit right there. And let's see, the strip of the football definitely
right
was,
hand.
yeah, the right arm gets in there.
Nice.
And Jameel McLean on the football, the junior out of Philly, on the fumble recovery.
That's just how you practice it. Hit, drive, rip. Beautifully done. So an opportunity now. And again, 13-3. This game feels like it's about 26-3.
And the plays under review, it's hard to tell if Williams' knee was down. It didn't look like it was down. It looked like a good hit and a strip by Calvin Smith. Let's take another look. His knee never touches there.
Still up, and here comes a rip with the right arm. He's turning, he's twisting, he is not down. There's the ball right there. That should be Syracuse ball.
Yeah, it's tough to tell. I don't think there's any evidence in there that would show you his knee's down.
Covered by Syracuse. 1st and 10.
So let's see if the Orange can drive the field and get on the board. Greg Robinson and his boys on the far sideline pretty amped up.
And that's really the first time South Florida offensively went into a tight formation and went strength on strength against Syracuse. Greg Robinson trying to fire up his sideline. His defense made a great stand there on 2 consecutive plays.
So that was an 11-play drive that started at the 24. They get inside the 5 and turn it over.
They may take a shot on 1st down here with single coverage up top.
Extra tight end, give it to Carter. Breaks a tackle, another tackle, and Nicholas finally brings him down at the 11-yard line. Did a nice job running through Burnett, but Stephen Nicholas, second-team All-Big East performer, number 51 with the tackle. Quint talked about his conversation with Brian White. Max Protect going to be the formula here. Let's see if they execute it. And look at that number. Scoreless in the 3rd, the last 4.
Well, the defense has definitely set the tone, trying to find a way to stop and get the ball back for this Orange offense. Let's see if they can get out of terrible field position here.
2 tight ends in the game. Moss at the bottom of the screen. Williams at the top. Patterson got time. Throws. Caught by Rice Moss. 21-yard line. And that's going to be good for a 1st down. Cut it in front of Jeremy Burnett. That's a gain of 10. So for Rice Moss, that's his 3rd catch for 36 yards.
Well, you can see the presence of Perry Patterson in taking his time getting to Rice Moss. He looked right first, and then he found Moss on a little hookup route. Moves the chains for the Orange.
Williams at the bottom of the screen to Williams' left. Moss up top to the right. Here comes Moss back towards the formation. 1st and 10 at the 21. short drop. Patterson, dart outside. Bryce Moss, first down. 31-yard line. They get the 32, caught it in front of Burnett again, a gain of 11.
More of the way they started the football game, with quick, decisive throws, 3-5 step, the ball's gone, and it doesn't put a lot of pressure on the offensive line. And I think Brian White talked it over with their head coach at the halftime, Greg Robinson. Hey, let's get back and throw the football and not put as much pressure on our offensive linemen.
And a running game has not been much to speak of. On a toss play here, Carter did break one. Long run. Ooh, he brought back into trouble that time. Josh Jomas got a free one. With the running back coming right back at you. 19 carries, 32 yards, Syracuse. A lot of that big run by Carter was wiped out by all the sacks.
Well, if the Bulls defense can make the running back of the Orange that time, DeLone Carter, stop and then start again, they have the advantage because of the speed and the pressure they can put on the run game from the edge and from the middle with Nicholas.
Yeah, Carter had a 47-yard run. A lot of those that rushing number in the net was wiped out. Chara in the slot to the left. Williams turns all the way. Let's try that again. Turns all the way around for Williams. Incomplete.
Patterson's pass is incomplete.
They're doing a lot of different things offensively. Actually, the way they started the game, a lot of quick passing, some turn back protection, and give the linemen a break instead of going man-to-man and giving the linebackers a lot of room to blitz on the inside or get some gaps and seams to come through. A lot of turn back protection as well.
You know, it's interesting. You addressed the fact that South Florida has a clear, distinct speed advantage. Syracuse best receivers are the tight ends.
Yeah.
3 tight ends on this formation. 3rd and long. 4-man rush, pretty good protection. Patterson stays alive. Gonna lob it down and overthrown. I think J.J. Neshwat. Bryce Moss was way downfield inside the 25-yard line.
Again, great pressure by the Bulls defense. When they've had success against Perry Patterson, they've been able to pressure the pocket and make him feel uncomfortable. Watch the edge right here. It makes Perry Patterson feel uncomfortable. Great athletic move to keep the play alive, but just nowhere to throw the football. Better coverage downfield for the Bulls.
Robinson has 2 sacks and didn't miss a 3rd by much. Brandon Carney standing at his 19-yard line. There have been some problematic snaps. This one wobbly, but gets there. Fake running. How about Brendan Carney? And he just comes up short by 3 yards. An Eagles fan from Malvern Prep in just outside Philadelphia, Danny Verpale, makes the stop for number 17. But why not? You've lost 4 in a row. Greg Robinson still looking for his first Big East win. Element of surprise, and just comes up short. So now the defense really has some pressure on it.
Brendan Carney trying to slip up the middle, and I guess you could say he's no Justin Tichy.
Tichy last week with a fake punt. Last week Pitt turned and ran. Tichy ran right up their back for a first down and then got another one. Here's Carney, Big East all first team Big East performer last year, coming up short on a fine defensive play by South Florida. Back here in South Florida, I tell you what, they obviously want to lose some weight because it's kind of hot to be wearing that.
Don't they know about the Thanksgiving rule? I mean, isn't it?
I'm with you.
Something like, right?
Wait before we start breaking at the Seneca. We haven't got to Thanksgiving yet.
That's right.
Joe Clairmon, McLean, Meekins, Nicholas, some tackle for loss guys. And McLean has not really gotten involved today because he's been playing more as a linebacker as opposed to DN. And Nicholas is playing superbly as per usual. Ricky Ponton in after the fake punt does not convert into a touchdown. Going for the home run ball. He's wide open. Man there. And Grothe overthrows Torres Johnson. The Bart Starr plan. After the turnover, change of possession, and beat A.J. Brown and beat him badly.
Oh, and no one feels worse than Matt Grothe. Great stop and start move, runs right by A.J. Brown, had a good 6 or 7 yards, but that's how much the ball was overthrown, and Matt Grothe knows it as soon as he let it go.
Boy, it was there, too. You see that separation at Florida speed? They go 3 wide to the right, 2 left. Syracuse rushes 5. And on the far side, boys, they could not knock Cedric Hill off his feet. The 6'3", 240-pound sophomore tight end from Valdosta, Georgia. Gain of 7.
And Dave, it's the same combination route that has been killing the Orange defense. The inside guys going and running a quick out, and the outside guys clearing out. And all it is the out route with a clear out. And pretty soon you would think the cornerback would come up and try to jump and anticipate the route.
2 catches, 23 yards for Cedric Hill. Here's Grothy on a roll. Got a man in through his hands. Tough one there. Try to get it to Jackie Chambers.
Grothy's pass intended for number 2, Jackie Chambers. Incomplete. 4th down and 3.
I may go for this again if I'm Jim Leavitt here, the head coach.
4th and 3 at the 33. You're up 10 early, midway through the 3rd.
I just don't feel threatened by Syracuse's offense.
I hear you.
And you've got field position. You missed, 1st and goal last series.
You're thinking right along with him. Trips to the bottom of the screen.
I'd watch a short side and the out again. They're giving it to him.
Oh man, look at the push atop the screen. You're exactly right. There it is. In and out of the hands and intercepted. Far side, A.J. Brown. And they say he stepped out of bounds. They say he stepped out of bounds at the 28-yard line. A.J. Brown, his 3rd pick of the season, the sophomore from Bealton, Virginia. 2nd turnover by South Florida in as many possessions.
Good hit. Grothy gets the football out. He puts it on the money, but the receiver never came out of the route. He was really slow getting in and out of the route with Cedric Hill. The ball goes up, and A.J. Brown gets it, and you can see the head coach, Greg Robinson, running along the sidelines with A.J. Let's see if he's...
Oh, yeah, no question. And a great job. The head linesman was
right there.
Head linesman Matt Fitzgerald, an excellent possession. Well, let's see if Syracuse can capitalize. Down 10, 8-12 to go in the 3rd here in Tampa.
This season, catch all of the premier regional college football matchups only from ESPN+. Check the local listings for each Saturday's game and time in your area. ESPN Plus is the best source to follow your hometown team.
Well, the Syracuse Orange capitalizing on a 2nd consecutive turnover by South Florida. Can they do something with it? Down 10 points here in the 3rd. A lot of Syracuse alums going to get together here at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. 1st and 10 Orange at its own 33 with Brinkley in the backfield. McDonald in at fullback. They'll run Brinkley. Pretty good game. Picks up about 6. Brought down by Pat St. Louis, senior outside linebacker from Miami, number 54.
You mentioned these linebackers, St. Louis, Moffitt, and Nicholas. These guys are a terrific threesome, and they run sideline to sideline, but they're very powerful. They don't weigh a whole lot. I think Moffitt goes at 240, but these guys can run and hit, and they tackle the football.
2 tight ends in for Syracuse. Send Moss in motion, get him a full head of steam. He's guarded by Mike Jenkins. What a matchup that is. Patterson looked for Williams. He got tied up. Williams went out of bounds, and now they try to get it to Brinkley. Can't make the one-handed catch, guarded by Pat St. Louis. Perry wanted to go bottom of the screen to Mike Williams, and he was locked up with Trey Williams, who bumped him out of bounds.
Trey Williams did an excellent job on the edge. Of the first drive, 56 yards. They get the field goal. In the last 5 drives, only 92 yards. And offensive coordinator Brian Wright has been trying to find a way to get this offensive line in sync and maybe move the pocket a little bit more quick 3-step drop and get the ball out. But they haven't been able to find any consistency since that first drive.
Abdell and Rice Moss. Receivers tight formation to the right of Patterson. Deep drop. Jailbreak. He's in trouble, and down he goes back at the 18-yard line. Tyler Roberts, the nickelback, the sophomore from Orlando, got him. And that's going to be the 6th sack this afternoon. Robinson's got 2. Moffitt, Sylvie, and Gilmas have 1. And now you add Tyler Roberts to the list.
Well, you called it, Dave. Top of the screen, Perry Patterson looked like he may have been running a 40-yard sprint and going the wrong way because the pressure was coming in, and the great coverage down the field. Trey Williams on Williams. Great job by the Bulls on defense.
Carney, last time in, tried to run it. Came up 4 yards short. His 4th punt coming up. Oh, he hammered that one. That's how he become first team all Big East. Randolph has a 20-yard retreat to the 21-yard line. Boy, that punt was crushed. 4-6 on the hang time. A punt that goes 58 yards. That was well done as long in the season at 66 yards. Jason Tanner on the tackle. Timeout here in Tampa. Matt Grothy and company holding on to a 10-point lead here at home against Syracuse. We're in the 3rd quarter with 6:17 to go, and been unproductive the last 2 times they've had the ball.
Well, they've been inside the 1-yard line. They get the fumble, the great hit and strip by Calvin Smith. Picked up eventually by McLean, and then the pick off of the tip pass. A.J. Brown just steps out of bounds, or that could have had a chance to go for 6 defensively. So Jim Leavitt's team, they hold that 13-3 lead, but they've had plenty of opportunities to cash in. There you see the 2 turnovers by USF.
Grothy, 23 of 31 passing, 275, a touchdown and an INT. 1st and 10. Nice run, Cotton into the 2nd level, breaks the tackle, gets a nice block, 1st down, Syracuse territory. Big whiff in there by Dwayne Davis. Jackson finally brought him down, a gain of 24.
Well, Dave, that'll get your offense jump-started. Ricky Ponton does a great job, the sophomore out of Tampa here locally. Great job of just bursting through the left side. Good surge by the offensive line. Watch the cutback there. Good block. Everybody down blocking. You see the leg whip not called there, but a good job of finding the crease and getting downfield.
Longest run of the season by Ponton. We got another fumble. Syracuse says it has it. Nothing official yet. Orange ball. And they've got good field position, too, at the 47-yard line. The 3rd turnover today by South Florida.
Look like Arthur Jones on the bottom of that pile for the Orange. Arthur Jones, Dave, looked like he was the guy on the bottom of the pile just trying to run that reverse. The ball put in perfectly by the quarterback, Grothy, and Jackson just drops the football.
Hit him up in the chest. And he saw the outstanding tackle, Thed Watson, walking off. He's got an injury, but a more important story right now is the turnover by Jackson. Can Syracuse capitalize? 3 turnovers in 3 straight possessions. Up the middle, here's Carter to the edge. About a 7-yard gain. Brought down by Mike Jenkins. Syracuse needs a bad play so badly. I mean, it's you just can't emphasize it enough. They need a big scoring play.
Well, Brian White needs something to happen easy for this offense. They need an easy play for 20 or 25 yards. They've been grinding it out and earning everything they've been able to get. And there's the turnover margin today, +3, and on the season they lead the Big East at +11.
3 consecutive times. Can they cash in? They're 0 for 2 here in the 3rd. Big play change by Patterson. Blitz shown. Give it to Carter. Bounce outside. Got the 1st down on the short side. And Jeremy Burnett and Trey Williams run him out of bounds.
You know, if you're Brian White, the offensive coordinator for Syracuse, Dave, you really don't want to press into anything, you know, down the field, because you run it on back-to-back plays. You're only down 10. There's 4:31 left to go, and we know about the lack of scoring ability in the 3rd quarter. You just want to get yourself into scoring position and then maybe take your chances.
Carter, 8 rushes, 74 yards. 3rd down and 1. Make that a 1st and 10, beg your pardon, at the 41-yard line. Moss is wide side of the field to the left. They look that way. Blitz coming. Nicholas has got him back at the 45-yard line. That is the 7th sack this afternoon by the South Florida Bulls. 27 now on the season. 7 sacks.
That's why I say you don't want to take your chances until you get into the plus or the red zone territory, because you can't block everybody. It was a all go. You had probably 4 guys streaking down the field, and the dynamic duo of Moffitt, Nicholas, and the rest of the crew get to the quarterback, Perry Patterson.
11 yards on the loss. 2nd down and 21. Ball's at the 48-yard line of Syracuse. Blitz coming again. They run the option. Get it to Carter with room. Running short side and angled out of bounds. On the near side, Tyler Roberts angled him out of bounds. 10 yards on the pickup.
Nice carry by the freshman Carter. Gets Syracuse in a manageable third down situation. 3rd and 11 is a lot better than 3rd and close to 25.
Clock at 3:38. Carter going out of bounds. 3rd quarter. No scoring here in the 3rd quarter. 2 field goals by Alvarado from 47 and 56. The only touchdown, Grothy 6 yards to S.J. Green. And the Orange scores Shadle a 29-yarder to open the scoring. They go double wide to the far side. 2 for 11 on 3rd down for the Orange. In cut. Man there, nothing doing. Tried to get it to Shara on an in cut. Guarded by Trey Williams.
Same play they opened the football game with is to split out Paul Sierra, who's actually a running back, get him outside, and the ball well behind. Good play by Julmus, getting in that throwing lane, making Patterson hold on to the football. And good coverage on the back end by Trey Williams.
The 3rd time in a row, Syracuse gets a turnover. And they got nothing to show for it. Carney's last punt, his 5th punt coming up. His last punt was crushed, 58 yards. Randolph had to retreat a good 20 yards. Marcus Edwards back to get it this time. Carney hangs it straight up. Let's see if they can get inside the 10 and get it. No, sir. Good effort, though. 42 yards on the punt, a net of 22. He had 4.8 on the hang time, 4.8 seconds. That was Jason Tanner down there trying to retrieve. All right, now there's Ben Moffitt. Remind me of the old joke of the New York Football Giants when the defense was really good and they tell the offense, all right, go in and hold them.
Yeah, right? The defense have done a good job of coming back, and with all the turnovers, the offense has given Syracuse definitely opportunities in the 3rd quarter to close this gap from 13 to 3, but they haven't been able to do it.
Syracuse, you are dying for tip ball, fumble, recovery. Get an easy 6 here if you can. Here's a running play by Ponton. Nothing doing there. And check it with Quint Kesnick.
Dave, I have to give the Syracuse defenders a lot of credit on and off the field. 3 straight turnovers, yet they're not hanging their heads. They didn't get down on their offensive buddies. They've put their offense in a position 3 times in this quarter to do something good, yet nothing's gotten done. And yet their attitude is still very upbeat and very engaged in the next play.
That's admirable, but sometimes you do want to say, yo, fellas, help us out. Come on. I agree with you, Quint. Good stuff. They've been stand-up guys in the defensive unit for Syracuse all season. 2nd down, the long 9. Blitz coming. Grothy retreats. Downfield, he's got a man down there. Oh, boy, that was almost huge. Amari Jackson in one-on-one coverage. Lemon back there. Jackson's hurt. Landed awkwardly. There's Terrell Lemon, senior out of Miami. One of 2 Floridians on this ball club. Last week, Pittsburgh came in with 21 Floridians on its roster.
Grothy does a good job of trying to get out of the pocket. A lot of pressure by Jerry Mackey, and makes a very accurate throw on the run. Gives his wide receiver a great chance to make a play on it, and he just dropped the football. Lemon couldn't locate the football as quickly as Amari Jackson did, and it should have been a catch.
That's a tremendous throw. Jackson was in great position. He's 6'5", running against the 5'10" Lemon.
I mean, that's the matchup I would look for a lot. Trying to throw the football up to Amari Jackson against the smaller Terrell Lemon.
1 catch, 10 yards this afternoon for Edwards. Chambers and Colby Erskine will be the Grothy's left on this play to the wide side of the field, top of your screen. 3rd and long, over the middle, man there, caught, room to run.
Night.
Toss Johnson put up 6 on the board for South Florida. $79 yards over the middle, and see you later.
How good is this freshman quarterback, Matt Grothy? standing in the pocket. Syracuse comes out with a full-out blitz, and Johnson goes 79 yards. Could have been called PI, but he makes the catch and goes in for 6 anyway.
Late third. The way Syracuse offense is going, that might be a capper right there. Grothy's second TD pass of the day. Here's Alvarado, point after. And that's money in the bank. For Johnson, his 4th TD catch of the season. A gorgeous play. 3 plays, 80 yards in only 78 seconds.
Offensive line did a great job of providing Matt Grothy with time to throw the Guinness brilliant pass of the game. Watch Grothy stand in there and just deliver a strike down the middle, just past A.J. Brown, who came up with the big interception the series before, but nobody is going to catch Johnson. Once he's out in the open field, it's 6 points.
Johnson on the score, and there's that Florida speed. Boy, the separation, once he caught it, separation was a no-brainer.
Matt Grothy, I'm just so impressed watching him in back-to-back weeks. You know, we saw clips of him against Rutgers in a game that should have went to overtime, that they drop a 2-point conversion in the end zone, and we see the athleticism on the sideline at wide receiver, and Greg Robinson trying to stress to his guys to stay in this thing. But at 20-3, they're going to have a big play, either with special teams or having their quarterback Perry Patterson make a big play to come back and get him back into this football game.
Grothy 24-33, 254, 2 touches, 1 pick, 6 yards away from a school record.
And he's not 100%.
Scary. He's something. Freshman quarterback, among the best, maybe the best in the country. Brinkley on the run. Across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. So there. How about this? Total yards, USF 458, Syracuse 150.
Ouch. Matt Grothy, career highs in completions and in attempts and in yards. 2 touchdowns, only the 1 pick. And as we were talking about earlier, I know he's close to 100%, but there's no way that he's 100%. And he's doing it. He's beating people with his head today as well as his ability. And Greg Robinson and that defense has to find a way to stop them when they get back onto the field. But now it's Perry Patterson's problem offensively.
Got to go to work. 1:42 to go in the third. They'll keep it on the ground with Brinkley. Nothing doing there. Maybe a loss of a yard. Stephen Nicholas with the tackle.
Tackle by number 51, Stephen Nicholas.
Well, you know what they're going to do on defense. Here we come, boys.
Yeah.
1:20 to go here in the third.
2nd down and 10.
Syracuse scoreless in the third now, working on its 5th consecutive game scoreless in third period. Aaron in motion. Play blown dead. Patterson was looking at a deep out, bottom of the screen to Rice Moss. Syracuse started the scoring with a Shadle 29-yard field goal. 10:05.
Ball start on the offense. Number 1. 5-yard penalty.
That's the second time the wideout, Mike Williams, has been called for a penalty, an illegal procedure. And I find it hard to. How do you get a handle on that?
You know, you got a freshman out there, and I think that's what Greg Robinson's trying to figure out on his sideline right now, because you can't do that offensively, especially if you're struggling. 1st and 10's bad enough the way it's been going, but 2nd and 15.
20 unanswered points by the South Florida Bulls. They rush 4. Here's the option. Brinkley to the corner. Look at that speed. Look at that closing speed. Outstanding by the South Florida Bulls. Jerome Murphy, a backup defensive back, coming up to make the play.
Just a closing speed, Dave, from inside out. You see Moffitt coming from the inside, and then Jerome Murphy from the outside, the spearing tackle at the ankles of the running back, Curtis Brinkley.
Well, I got a dime package in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A nickel package in there. 5 DBs. 3rd and 14. Deep drop. Look out. Patterson hangs. Throws. Caught. An eliminating tackle down there, but a good first down. Jeremy Burnett put the stick on Rice Moss, a gain of 17, but a first down for Syracuse as we've reached the end of the third quarter here in sunny Tampa, Florida. The Syracuse Orange trying to end a 4-game losing streak, and South Florida trying to cement itself in the bowl picture with its 7th win. Greg Robinson upbeat as ever, trying to keep his team in the game. South Florida turned it over 3 straight times. Syracuse couldn't capitalize, and then a big one for 79 opens it up to a 20-3 lead as we head to the 4th. So you're looking for a little fish dinner tonight? Follow that guy. He knows where to get some fish. Out here in Tampa Bay. Welcome back, everybody. We're in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. I wonder if he came up with anything. Dave Sims, John Kinjemi, and Quint Kesnick and company on hand here at Raymond James Stadium. And Syracuse just went through its 5th consecutive third quarter without scoring a point while giving up 49. No touchdowns in 7 quarters, but they haven't scored in the third quarter in 5 consecutive games while being outscored 49-0. First and 10, Orange at its own 47, starting the 4th quarter.
Pressured by the Bulls.
They run up the gut on this first down play. Brinkley to the 50, maybe the 49. They're going to call it the 50-yard line. Alan Carey, one of the key tackles, making the stop along with Ben Moffitt.
Gain of 3 on the play, 2nd down and 7.
LeVar Lobdell getting some time now. He'll be number 11 at the top of your screen. Paul Sciarra now at fullback. Blitz coming. Throw it to Sciarra. First down to the 39. Perry Patterson took a big lick there. Ben Moffitt brings him down. Gain of 11. They blitzed the corner that time. Tyler Roberts.
That was good recognition by Perry Patterson to get that head around and locate Paul Sciarra out of the backfield. Sciarra motioned away from the direction he caught the football in, and Perry Patterson, under duress most of this afternoon, was able to find his tailback or fullback on the play. 13-26 on the afternoon, but that hasn't been the story.
From the South Florida 39, down 17. What total yards? 458 to 182. Fade down the sideline, try to get it to Mike Williams. Nothing doing there. Pretty good coverage down there. There's a look at Murphy. Jerome Murphy all over Mike Williams.
Murphy does a nice job of squeezing the receiver Williams to the sideline, and it has to be a perfect throw when you don't give the quarterback any room on that sideline to drop it in. And Murphy did a good job to the short side of the field.
Still to come for these South Florida Bulls. Finish up the season on the road. Be interesting to see how they adjust to colder climes in Louisville and West Virginia over the next 2 weeks. Brinkley for about 1.5 yards, 2 yards at max. Stephen Nicholas on yet another tackle, all Big East performer. There's Brian White with the offensive coordinator. That's what Syracuse has remaining. We'll see them next week at home against Connecticut, then at Rutgers, which is currently number 15, but will undoubtedly move up after the fine win at home against Piscataway.
Daunting test for South Florida on the road at Louisville, who will drop from number 3, and then at West Virginia to close out the season.
Last we saw, West Virginia was running Cincinnati out of Morgantown. It was 21-3. Deep drop on the 3rd down by Patterson. Out pattern Farron, his 3rd catch today. Fights his way. Looks like he's got the first down. He does. To the 26-yard line, brought down by Tyler Roberts, a gain of 12. So first down, Syracuse.
Pushed out of bounds by number 26, Tyler Roberts.
Farron does a nice job of eluding the tackle by Ryan Gillum. The junior cornerback just eludes him on the edge and then gets enough yards for the first down to keep Perry Patterson in this offense moving along on this drive.
Need a touchdown here. Make it 20-10, and then you'll take your chances. Field goal is not going to help. Need a touchdown. First and 10 at the 26 of South Florida. Bulls' most recent strike, a 79-yard Brophy pass to Johnson. And that run loses a yard. DeLon Carter had a 47-yarder in the second quarter. Hasn't really been heard from since. Pat St. Louis in the tackle.
A lot of the front seven still the starters in there for the Bulls, but the entire secondary, you have backups in, and that may be allowing a little bit more room or a little bit more freedom for the outside for the Orange wide receivers.
Let's say they got Danny Verpail in at free safety. We've seen Murphy a bunch at the corner.
Gillum's at the other corner.
Second and long. Mike Williams can't get free. Patterson, penalty flag on the play. Mike Williams, end zone, jump ball, makes the catch. Touchdown Syracuse. Will it hold up? Penalty flag on the play. They beat Murphy that time. They tried to get him short. And then a nice adjustment by Williams to take it upfield once Patterson got in trouble.
Holding on the defense. Number 3.
So a nice job by Mike Williams to beat Jerome Murphy. Results in a 6 spot for the Syracuse Orange to make it 20-9.
Williams did an excellent job of going up over Murphy to catch the football. And credit Perry Patterson for buying some time and giving him a chance to go up and climb the ladder and get 6.
So 12-19 to go. The offense finally gets a touchdown on the board. A 10-play, 66-yard drive in 4:50.
Patterson did a great job of just putting some air under the football and let Williams go up and catch it. Takes it away from Jerome Murphy.
What's the look at? That's a touchdown.
Yeah, you don't see the ball come out on that angle, and that's the only possible thing that they could be looking at, because he definitely landed in bounds. But credit Patterson for keeping the play alive and then finding his freshman playmaker to the outside for 6.
And review. Video confirms the call on the field. Touchdown stands.
So 11th TD pass by Perry Patterson. For Mike Williams, his 4th TD catch. And here's Shadle for the point after. Not a bad drive. 10 plays, 66 yards. A better play by Mike Williams because Murphy jammed them nicely inside the first 5 yards. He recognized that his quarterback was in trouble and shook free and got in the end zone. Williams 4 catches, 61 yards. And a successful operation there for the point after. So, you know what? We may well have a game here. 20-10. Plenty of time to go in the 4th. And a good connection here. Patterson to Williams. Touchdown, Syracuse. Syracuse faithful on their feet. 20-10 here with plenty of time to go in the 4th. Dave Sims, John Kinjemi, Quint Kesnick and company here in sunny Tampa. Torres Johnson, last time he touched it, 79 yards, a touchdown reception. He'll take it from a yard deep. He gets in the high gear, look out! Chestnut saved the touchdown at the 28-yard line. Boy, that could have been huge. Drifted up, found the crease, got through it, a 30-yard return. Let's take a look at our cool under pressure moment brought to you by the folks at Peak Antifreeze. Get it down.
Looks like Stephen Nicholas on that special teams play, but what a play by Perry Patterson, just buying enough time to get the football up to his playmaker, Mike Williams, who is able to concentrate, not only get up and catch the football, but land in bounds. Patterson gives it enough air under the football where he can go up and jump ball. Jerome Murphy comes down with it and then has the presence to get that left foot in and his whole body in bounds for the 6 points.
Mike Williams at 6'2", 205. Isn't he the kind of receiver just with his jumping ability? Don't you just alley-oop it? You throw it to him at minimum 10 times a game, wouldn't you think?
Well, I think in this type of offense you would have to, Dave. He's the only guy that can stretch the field with a consistent basis, and he's always a freshman.
Pretty impressive performance. Mike Williams, touchdown there. So now, if you're Syracuse, you desperately need to stop a turnover. Grothe on a keeper. Nice run. He's ailing. Wow, that's a 10-yard pickup. Got taken out by McLean. Williams on the day, by the way, 4 catches, 61 yards and a touchdown. That is a first down for South Florida.
Well, you can tell at the end of this run with Matt Grothe, he has the strength, but he just doesn't, he wants to shut it down. As soon as he gets somebody around his legs, he's just going to shut it down because he almost got hurt there. That same ankle was tucked underneath, and that same foot tucked underneath where he already has the stretched ligaments in that turf toe. 7
carries, 35 yards for Grothe. Benjamin Williams up the middle. Ooh, spun out of a big hit. Luke King put it on. Just shy of the 44, make that the 45-yard. Clock runs at 11:30. Surprised we're not seeing more Syracuse players do what Kelvin Smith did in the third quarter. Hit and rip.
Strip, yeah, hit and strip the football, because right now that defense needs to shorten the field for its offense, and they've done a good job of keeping the Bulls off the scoreboard on a couple different opportunities for Greg Robinson, but they need another stop with 10-11 to go in this game.
Syracuse just got on the board. Patterson 27 yards to Mike Williams. After Grothe, he went 79 yards to Johnson. Grothe keeper. Oh, great lead block. He cut back against the grain. Got the first down and more. 10 yards on the game. Lee Williams with the tackle, but boy, I didn't see what tackle it was, but somebody did a great job. It was Mark Dial in relief of Thed Watson.
Dave, do you notice that offensive coordinator Rod Smith, with the game on the line, now only a 10-point game, going to more quarterback runs and letting the person that's going to win or lose the game decide it? Now Pat Julmus in the football game because Grothe comes out.
Pat Julmus, a very good runner himself, more of a power runner, not as accurate a thrower. Here's Pat, and taken down by Arthur Jones. Arthur's done a nice job the last few weeks coming in off the bench, redshirt freshman from Endicott, New York. Grothe took a quick pop there, quick blow, and he's back in the game.
And they desperately need him to finish this game as well as finish out the season. But Julmus did a great job after Grothe was hurt last weekend against the Panthers, came in and ran the offense very effectively.
South Florida knocked off Pittsburgh here at Raymond James 22-12. Penalty flags all over. See any spark here from the Syracuse Orange?
On the offense, number 75, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Dave, it looks like both teams kind of walking around a little aimlessly without a purpose in this fourth quarter with only a 10-point game. So the Bulls have to regain that urgency they had, and Syracuse needs to find it in the rush yards. Grothe pretty close to the Syracuse total.
Second down play. 2nd and 8 at the 43. Maury Jackson back in the game. Grothe hangs, fires, and incomplete.
Grothe's pass intended for number 30, Benjamin.
Tried to get it to Benjamin Williams. Can't haul that one in. McClain, pretty good pressure on Grothe. 3rd and 13 coming up. What do you look for here, John? Deep strike?
Yeah, you want to get maybe one of your slot receivers going across the field. Looks like man coverage.
Syracuse rushes 7. They roll the pocket, throw it short, 40-yard line, just shy of a first down. Second catch today by Colby Erskine, the 5'9" freshman from Seminole, Florida, picks up 10.
And now the head coach, Jim Leavitt, going to play field position, but Erskine gets the other catch on the other sideline. Now he goes to the South Florida sideline, tries to stay in bounds and get a couple more yards, but that's all they really wanted. Play field position, get your defense back on the field, and force Syracuse to do something offensively.
Tichy going for his 7th punt inside the 20. He could use one here. Rolled it down, it's inside the 20. Well done. Look at this. Beautiful. That's well executed to the 3-yard line. Well done by Justin Tichy. He was our player of the game last week. 35 yards, on the punt. Here's why he was our player of the week against the Pitt Panthers a week ago. First time they went to punt, everybody retreated. They had seen it. He saw it and took it to go. Picked up the first down. 2 punts later, a design play where he had blocking, picked up another first down, and that was a tone setter. That first fake punt as well as the second set up the way that whole game went through, with Pittsburgh losing 22-12 here to South Florida. Back here at South Florida, the University of South Florida playing its games here at home at Tampa, leading 20-10. Let's take a look now at our Suzuki College way of life here in Big East football, and we focus on Curtis Brinkley, Syracuse running back, lifelong Muslim. During the holy month of Ramadan, he fasted from sunrise to sunset. That went from September 24 to October 24, and during the month he's up at 5:30 a.m. get as much nutrition as he possibly can, but he did lose 16 pounds. He averaged 31 yards a game in those 4 games played, and he strictly follows the dictates of Ramadan. Tough obligation, but Brinkley says that the drop in his performance is just normal football fatigue. And let's check in with Quint Kesnick with more on that story.
Dave, Curtis Brinkley has been running with a heavy heart. His dad, at the age of 40 last fall, died after a long battle with lymphoma. Curtis wears a Livestrong bracelet and covers it with athletic tape on game day. And he puts the day his father was born and the day his father passed away. He says his father runs right beside me. He's an impressive young man. A lot of discipline and work ethic, and he has prioritized hitting the books.
10 carries, 17 yards today for Brinkley. A deep hole, his best buddy and counterpart Delone Carter gets jammed big time by George Selvey. And Moffitt there as well. Here's a look at Brinkley out of West Catholic High School in Philadelphia. Put up a ton of yardage, 85 touchdowns, 7,429 yards in his high school career. Came in 8th in the Big East in all-purpose yards. Not much of a factor today. 8 minutes to go and counting. Orange 4-14 on 3rd down. Patterson, what happened? Lost the ball. That looks like a fumble. I think that's a fumble. That's a fumble. Indeed it is. First turnover today by the Orange, as Patterson, boy, he had some people coming in hard from his left. George Selvey recovered the fumble. Richard Kleebert had a lot to do with forcing that fumble, number 76.
I just like the way this defense is playing, Dave, the way they're pressuring the pocket. And really, Syracuse's offensive line has no answers. The protection, they could not keep up with the pressure. Patterson back, hits his 5th step. No one can keep out George Selvey. There's 5 guys to his left, and he splits the double team. And there you see 51, Stephen Nicholas, and Josh Julmus, 91's in on the play. Terrific pressure by the front 7.
Totally overpowering the O-line for Syracuse. Pat Julmus is in. Julmus in at quarterback. Trying to put a capper on this. Keeps it himself. Big man takes it close. He's in. Touchdown, South Florida. That extends the lead to 26-10. Julmus. First rushing touchdown. Headaches increase now for Greg Robinson. 4th quarter with 7:33 to go.
Yeah, puts the Orange in a big hole. Pat Julmus, that's a tough job to come off the sidelines cold after only a couple plays in the football game and take a big hit and keep it in for 6.
Alvarado for the point after. He's had a marvelous day. Field goals from 47 to 56 and missed from 30. 56, the second longest school history to build Grammatica. Point after is up and good. Grammatica hit a 63-yarder against Austin Peay back in November of 2000. So now a real significant and substantial hole for the Syracuse Oranges. South Florida is taking control 27-10 with 7:33 to go here in the 4th quarter on the TD by Pat Julmus. Today's ESPN Plus game has been brought to you by Hyundai, with quality that lets them offer America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. Cooper Tires, don't give up a thing. Liberty Mutual. Vote for the 2006 Liberty Mutual Coach of the Year. Responsibility. What's your policy? Can-Am, formerly Bombardier ATV. I Can-Am, can you? Peak Antifreeze, formulated with an advanced organic technology to protect any engine of any make, any model, anytime. Suzuki Automotive, it's going to be a great ride. And by Polaris. Get to your Polaris dealer for incredible holiday savings during the Polaris Season to Ride sales event. South Florida Bull. There's a good way. Again, you wear a costume in this South Florida heat. Oh, no, this Veterans Day, you're going to lose a little bit of weight there. Pat Gill missed his first rushing touchdown after Selvey forced a fumble by Patterson. 27-10. Far side, it's Brinkley. A very narrow alley to get through. And he gets it up just shy of the 30-yard line, a 23-yard attempt.
Julmus does a nice job of just going off the right side, and he's going to find a way to get himself into the end zone. But good down blocking. Look at the hole there after the play fake. Huge hole right here. Calvin Smith tries to keep him out of the end zone, but he does reach over before the ball comes loose for the 6 points.
Julmus at 6'3", 220. A power running quarterback as we look at Andrew Robinson, a freshman from Baltimore, going to get a try now with a pretty good amount of time left on the clock at 7:19. The future of Syracuse backfield, just a freshman from Calvert Hall College. Deep drop. They run a blitz against it. Hangs in. And welcome to the Big East. Playing a little bit and a cup of coffee against West Virginia. Cleveland with great pressure. Selvey with the tackle. So that was some point of speculation coming into this game, given the way this season has been going, or not going for Syracuse. Would Greg Robinson lift his starter, Perry Patterson? Well, Perry started 15 of 29, 174 and a touchdown, but again, did not get a ton of support in terms of he was running for his life. 7 sacks today.
Yeah, not a good situation to be in if you're a quarterback, that's for sure.
They run Brinkley. Running hard, gets outside. Close to a first down. Ben Moffitt with the tackle. Robinson went 0 for 1 against West Virginia. Got sacked twice. His only previous action this season. Comes in with big credentials. Take a look at our .6:17 to go. They get that play called in. And that was good for a first down by Brinkley. Brinkley's still in there. Let's see what Robinson can do throwing the football. Long count. Blitz coming. Short drop ball up in the air. That's up for grabs. Brinkley caught it. Oh, did he pay a price? Lost the ball. They're going to call it an incomplete. Selvey with the hit.
Dave, that's been the story all afternoon with Syracuse quarterbacks. The game-changing performance has been this South Florida Bull defense. 7 sacks, and they've harassed Perry Patterson all afternoon and made it very uncomfortable for him to throw the football. And as you can see there, Andrew Robinson gets a little taste in his first pass attempt of the afternoon.
See what Robinson can do. You got Mike Williams wide to the left. On the option, get it to Brinkley. Stutter step. Oh, caught from behind like he was standing still. Pat St. Louis. It's just a penalty flag on the play. And it's amazing to me, again, that Florida speed, what a difference it makes. I mean, it looked like Brinkley was moving.
Yeah, it looked like Brinkley was going to have get the edge, and it looked like
94.
Penalty will go against the defense of the Bulls.
Alan Cray,
yeah. But as you said, Dave, it looked like Brinkley had the edge and has the edge turned, and just that little stutter step move allows Patrick St. Louis to gain some ground. Yeah, you know, the way the Bulls are playing, and you mix in a healthy Matt Grothe, they're going to give Louisville and West Virginia all they want. If they can play this style of defense, now granted, it might have to be a 50 or 60-degree day. If it's a real nasty day, I don't think their chances are as great.
They'll kiss you if it's 50 to 60. It could be a lot worse than that. 5:44 to go. Nice run, Brinkley. 49-yard line, first down. Pat St. Louis with the tackle again, a gain of 9. Tyler Roberts there as well. How about Andrew Robinson, 6'3", 217 from Baltimore. Number 20 pro-style quarterback in the country. 13th best prospect in Maryland by Rivals.com. So Andrew Robinson trying to get something going in relief of Perry Patterson. John Barker in the game as a wideout. There's that fifth step, that hop step by Robinson. Ball downfield, intercepted. 25-yard line. Stephen Nicholas made it look very easy. Underthrown by Robinson, his first pick of the season. Now, we had been looking for Perry Patterson to do that little hop on the five-step drop, which was started by Vince Evans years ago at Southern Cal. But today, here's Robinson. And talk about that fifth step.
Well, I guess it's for the timing of the pass offense. For me, I would like to throw it in the garbage can that goes alongside the bench, because there's just really no, it doesn't set up anything. You just hold on to the ball longer or just take an extra step. For me, it would throw me off of my rhythm, but maybe for those quarterbacks in Robinson and Patterson, it throws them into rhythm and gets the receivers on the right page.
There's your turnover story. 4:54 to go. Pat Jomas back at quarterback, and see a steady dose of the run game now. Ricky Ponton got bent over backwards by Kelvin Smith and Arthur Jones. We'll see Syracuse again next week against Connecticut. Connecticut takes on Pittsburgh. Let's check in with Quint Kesnick.
Dave, I'd love to hear what John says about making kind of your first appearance. Keep in mind, Robinson only played 1 snap against Miami, then 1 series against West Virginia. During the bye week, he took about 30% of the snaps. He says he's been learning a lot by standing behind the huddle and watch Perry operate. Coach Robinson says he's making progress, but first time in the limelight, in the heat, probably a different world for him out there.
Oh, you can take that to the bank too. Jomas on a keeper with a good block, and good confrontation with Kelvin Smith. Walter Walker. I like him. We talked a lot about Ted Watson. We're looking at Perry Patterson doing some tutelage there.
Yeah, and that's always a good thing, Dave, to hear what the senior has to say. And I to your point, Quint, about watching it, by not taking the reps, but being in the huddle and watching and making the reads that the starter Perry Patterson makes. And it's a great learning experience for Andrew Robinson. It's only going to make him a better quarterback. And you can see the framework and the build that he has. He's a big, strong, young kid that's only going to develop and needs the reps at practice and needs the mental reps, which he's getting now, in every week.
Syracuse, 240 total yards. How about South Florida? 508. Penalty flag, left tackle moved too soon. That was Mark Dial, coming off a bad knee, sophomore from Miami. So Jim Leavitt cruising towards his 7th win of the season.
On the offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty on the previous spot.
Jim takes all that very hard.
Clock will start on the snap.
Take a look at our Polaris Out of Town scoreboard right now, and West Virginia on top of Cincinnati. Back with a vengeance.
Wow.
Auburn, yes sir. Wouldn't expect that. At Auburn too. Wisconsin comes away with a win. The Badgers. Look at our Polaris scoreboard. Boy, did you see after the handoff, the link that Jonas put on the linebacker blitzing Jerry Mackey making a stop there. Is the feel of a basketball game. Boys, wrap it up. Let's put a ribbon on it. This one's over.
Yeah, too many big plays offensively and ways to move the chains and keep their offense on the field and eventually getting into the end zone for the Bulls today.
Syracuse burns the timeout. Both teams with 2 stoppages remaining. South Florida the next 2 weeks at Louisville, at West Virginia, and obviously the Mountaineer offense. I'd like to get some details on that West Virginia game, but with 42 points on the board, I got to believe Steve Slayton had his hand in a lot of those scores. Steve, of course, last week in a Thursday night game against Louisville. Had a hand injury, couldn't hold on to the ball. So Louisville and West Virginia still ahead for the South Florida Bulls, who are about to improve to 7-3, 3-2 in the Big East Conference. Timeout. We're back with more right after this. Smiles all around the South Florida sideline. And why not, as we check out our Liberty Mutual play of the game.
Well, this was the hookup down the middle that really had the separation in the game. Grothy to Johnson, and Johnson on the afternoon, 5 catches for 131 yards and 1 touchdown, and Grothy had 409 total yards. He had 45 yards rushing and another 364 yards passing.
That's 2 weeks for a lot of guys.
That's a half a season. You're right. Great job by Grothy.
Teachy. Well, look at the corkscrew effect on that punt. As it's caught at about the 34-yard line by Bruce Williams. 3-9 on the hang time, a 34-yard punt. Nice to see Bruce Williams back, the kick returner for the Syracuse Orange. Missed the Cincinnati game 2 weeks ago after the death of a young cousin in an accident. Here's what Grothy's done. School record in yards, 364. He's just a freshman.
Yeah, a lot of upside for Matt Grothy, especially when he gets back to 100% healthy.
Patterson on the other side, 15 of 29, 174, and a touchdown. So Andrew Robinson in second series for him. Shara, play fake. And Robinson in trouble. Throws downfield. Boy, there's a collision there. Tried to feed it into Tommy Farron. And there was all kinds of traffic there. Mike Jenkins among those there to break it up. And I got an injured player. And it's Mike Jenkins.
Yeah, it was Nate Allen and Mike Jenkins colliding. They were both breaking on the football that was thrown up by Andrew Robinson. Looked like it was going to be a good play, but right through the hands of J.J. Nejwat. And then there's the collision there between Allen and Jenkins still down.
That wasn't pretty at all. 29,654 on hand here at Raymond James Stadium.
And that's their best cover guy. They can ill afford to lose him down the stretch.
Not with Louisville and West Virginia coming
sir.
Up. Mike, a junior out of Bradenton, went to Southeast High School. Second team all conference a year ago.
Just, both going after the football, not seeing either one of them, just breaking on the ball, and looked like both of the helmets just touch and collide. Nate Allen stays in the game, and hopefully Mike Jenkins will walk off under his own power, just maybe almost like a whiplash type of effect.
Nate Allen owes him one.
Yeah.
I got dinner for
I got dinner tonight and maybe the next night.
Man. Hey, man, you didn't see me? 2:31 to go. Second down and 10. That's Farron in motion. Up the middle is Shara for a couple.
Handoff number 34. Paul
Shara brought down by Alan Cray. Just 2 Floridians on the Syracuse roster, 21 on the Pitt roster, and Rutgers has upwards of
25 to 28, yeah.
Third down and 5.
Speed differential has been huge today.
Yeah, it just looked like the urgency was there. As the game went on, South Florida had a little bit more urgency, and I know that Syracuse, Greg Robinson guys, they did compete, and they did come out with a purpose to win this football game, but it just looked like the urgency defensively was there for the Bulls.
Blitz coming. Robinson in trouble. Lost the ball. Stripped. Recovered. South Florida. Andrew Robinson forced the fumble. Nice job with the strip. And that's the 3rd turnover by the Syracuse Orange. Robinson recovered it. Stripped it and recovered it. Nice play.
Yeah, good pressure on the pocket by the Bulls. Again, they bring one too many people that the Orange cannot block, and then the strip from behind.
Yeah, Robinson
terrific play. Yeah, Robinson stripped it, and Jerome Murphy on the fumble recovery.
1:43 to go. 27-10 South Florida. Syracuse again goes scoreless in the third quarter. 5th consecutive game that's happened. Orange en route to the 5th consecutive loss. They dropped to 3-7 and 0-5 in the Big East Conference. Walt Smith gets a carry, senior from Bartow, Florida. 4 yards on that game. Cornelius Campbell. Tough ride. It'll be a tough flight back to Syracuse for the Orange. 7-3. They trailed after 1. Actually, Syracuse took the ball in the opening kickoff after South Florida won the toss and deferred. Syracuse went down, got a field goal from Shadle from 29 yards. Then it was all South Florida with the scoring. They put up 20 unanswered before Syracuse got on the board again. 12-19 to go to make it 20-10. Saw a little bit of life there. And then it was 27-10 as Jomis converted a fumble to blow it wide open. New quarterback is Anthony Severino. And there you have it. Final 20 seconds. I'll let it run off, and that'll do it.
Well, this is one that head coach Jim Leavitt had to have to go from 6 wins to 7 wins. Very big for the Bulls.
Jim Leavitt and Greg Robinson. Good show of sportsmanship by both teams. Turned out to be a no doubt about it. So, John, Syracuse Orangemen continue to struggle. We'll see them again next week at home against the Connecticut Huskies. 27-10 the final. Join us again next Saturday. UConn Huskies head to the Carrier Dome to take on the Syracuse Orangemen. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For John Kinjemi, Quint Kesnick, and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Dave Sims. Thanks for joining us, everybody, here in Tampa, Florida at Raymond James Stadium. Big East football, South Florida, a convincing 27-10 victory over Syracuse.